Malakoff now able to clear it all the way down the ice. And this will be icing here against the Flyers on the touch-up by Caberlet.
A big part of the Philadelphia Flyers' success in these playoffs is they've been outstanding in the first period. They get a lead, and they hardly ever look back. Look at that. Only 22.5 minutes of the entire playoff season so far have they been behind.
And that was all in Game 3 against New Jersey, so they have not trailed once in this series. And though it's been close and it's been tight, and Toronto feels that they can be confident the way the first two games went, except for the outcome, they don't feel they've been out of the game, but it's a different mentality when you're playing with that lead.
And Toronto scored first 7 out of the 9 games they've been in, so they'd like to get back to that and obviously try to put Philadelphia down and give them that different feeling and see how they respond.
Here is Caberlet now back for the Leafs, hands it off for his partner, Ken Klee. Up to center ice, it is blocked, and here is Roenick with it, sending it deep now into the Toronto zone, and Roenick taken down on the far side by Chad Kilger. Now Malakoff for Alex Zhamnov, a little trouble handling the puck, has to circle back.
Pat Quinn has really mixed his lines around completely from top to bottom. You got Ty Domi up there playing with Ron Francis, trying to get Francis some more room.
Quick shot there by Recchi. And also a little bit of a reward for Ty Domi because he's arguably been the most consistent forward for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Ty Domi has had an excellent playoff. I mean, he played well against Ottawa, and he played very strongly in Game 1 and 2 of this series.
Here's Leclerc now with Recchi. 2 Maple Leafs are back. Leclerc fakes the shot, takes it deep. Now centering pass deflects right in on Belfour, and he decides to hang on.
Eddie Belfour, no doubt he would be in, and Robert Eshew has been outstanding. I mean, he's been everything he's needed to be, first in the first series against New Jersey, and now the 2 games. He made a key save, the biggest one of the game, against Clark Wilm with the game on the line, and Eddie Belfour, his numbers spectacular as always, but down 2 games in this series.
Coming into this game, both Belfour and Esch had faced 50 shots. Esch had stopped 48. Belfour had stopped 45. Big hit on the far side, and that was Belak that threw the hit, and that's exactly why they have him in the lineup. And Kapanen back for the touch-up.
Eddie Belfour has pretty spectacular numbers all the way along in playoffs. He's won a Stanley Cup already a few years back, 99 to be exact, with the Dallas Stars. 97% save percentage. These situations, he just comes up big. I mean, and that's why they brought him here to Toronto in the first place. There was a lot of talk early on in the series, and Eddie set the stage himself about Philadelphia crashing the crease, and it still continues.
Kapanen with a drive off a face-off win. The save made by Belfour as, again, Brashear tried to get in there. And Marchment wouldn't let him.
There was no traffic in front that time. And I think Eddie Belfour in this game, I think, just has to concentrate on good goaltending. He has made a big deal out of it. His team has made a big deal out of getting touched in the crease area, maybe to the point almost of distraction. There's Sammy Kapanen playing defense. The forward playing defense, and he's only about 5'9", maybe 5'10" if you want to be really generous, but he's done a very strong job on defense. Kim Johnson not playing again in this game for Philadelphia. Johnson did skate this morning, and he took a couple of shots, not many, no slap shots, but the hand is coming along.
Out at center ice, Ragnarsson takes the hit, dumps it back into the Toronto zone. Now Brashear comes in, gets a hit. Belak, who had gone to the bench, back out on the ice, dumps it out to center ice. Here is Ragnarsson. Belak runs at him. Now Belfour hands it off on the far side. Here is Aki Berg now, number 8. Monakorowski, center ice. Belak dumps it in. Ash out to handle the puck. Kapanen hit by 2 Maple Leafs. Now the puck comes free and back down to Leach. Leach with a shot, tried to get it through. Blocked by Roenick, comes back to Monakorowski. Roenick trying to stay with him, and a pass intercepted. Could be a break here for Amante. Tony Amante with breakaway speed, but the puck just rolled out of his reach. And Belfour able to clear it the other way. And that's going to be ruled a 2-line pass from Belfour all the way across center ice out to Sundin.
Pretty good wheels by Brian McCabe, because Tony Amante is one of the faster forwards in the National Hockey League. A terrific read by Tony Amante to steal this puck. Podakarovsky on the near side making a bad diagonal pass. And this is not the first time Amonte's had a breakaway chance. In game 2, Amonte came in all alone and hit the end of the stick of Eddie Belfour. And then in this game, the near breakaway. Look at McCabe, though. He's coming hard. It forced Tony Amonte to skate so hard, he actually pushed that puck a little bit too far ahead. Eddie Belfour came out and cleared it. So good work between McCabe with the pressure and Eddie Belfour to read the play and not be timid to come out and clear it.
Here is Leach now, cross center ice, weaving his way through. Wanted to set up for a shot, but had it knocked off his stick. Roenick now hands it off on the left wing side. Snapshot here. Belfour the save, gave up a rebound. Amonte jammed off now. Roenick wraparound chance, and that was stopped by Belfour, who was sliding from his right to his left along the pads. Here's Markov. Now to Zhamnov. Zhamnov tied up. Good job by McCabe, who has not skated the last couple of days after blocking a shot in game 2. Now Roenick again takes it in deep. Roenick looking in front. Takes it behind the net. Leach staying with him. Out to the line. Now a shot off the glove of Belfour, but Matt Sundin is right there.
And you see there was absolutely zero traffic in front. All the Philadelphia Flyers actually backed away, although that Chicago line is not as apt to stand in front.
Oh, Robert Esch in a little bit of trouble handling that 65-footer from Matt Sundin.
And the fans here are going to get on Robert Esch. Ty Domi of the Toronto Maple Leafs appealed to the fans in the newspaper today and said, hey, help us out here, folks. The Philadelphia fans were getting on our guy, Eddie Belfour. Southwest Airlines goal cam will give you an idea of what that one looked like. Ooh, it leaked a little.
Yeah.
So the fans will be getting on Robert Esch every time they can, but that's what home ice advantage is all about.
And now Ty Domi's out there on a line with Ron Francis, Chad Kilger. It comes back to the line. Clee sets it along the boards behind Esch. Chased down by Tamander. Caberlet held it in for Toronto. Puck was up in the air. Nobody saw it for a moment. Now the Flyers able to clear. Caberlet has Recchi right on him. Cleared out to center ice. Commander calmly got it to Pitkin. Turned back by Kilger. Big collision there at center ice with Leclaire. And it's stumped back in now. Robert Esch has to handle it. Around the boards on the far side. Pitkin saw Kilger coming. Now Kilger and his line mates trying to keep it in the zone. But it's recovered by Recchi. Nice little move there with the puck. Into the zone, Recchi. His shot hit the leg of Francis. Now Leclaire pushed into the boards. Now Francis angles it off the end boards, and the Leafs come out with it. Domi in front of that Toronto bench. Nobody able to get control. Now it comes back to Tamander. Ragnarsson looks it ahead. Radovojevic. Quick hit, bounced by the Toronto net. Leafs able to work it up the far side. Tucker hands it off, and it's dumped deep into the Flyer zone. Kapanen being pursued by Wilm. Kapanen check. Here is Tucker. Now Clark Wilm tries to feed it back for Robert Reichel on the far side. It is cleared by the Flyers. Todd Fedoruk all the way back into the Maple Leaf zone. Flyers got back on side, but it's recovered now by Wilm, and he drives it in wide of Esch.
Nobody really has the upper hand here. Pretty even. As far as puck possession goes, pretty even in that department, too. Toronto Maple Leafs trying to take the two Philadelphia Flyers physically, which certainly doesn't surprise me. I think the onus is on Toronto here to sort of set the tone, but Philly will play any way they want.
Now here's Primo with it. Sends it deep. Down for Shear. Puts on the break, now dumps it out to the blue line. Markov, quick shot, deflected, save Belfour. That hit the left pad. And it may have been Primo that got the deflection. Plenty of traffic in front of Belfour for that opportunity. Podakarovsky now into the zone. Leach goes to the front of the net. Good shot deflected wide. And now Primo. Quick a hit. Gagne comes over, clears it out for the Flyers. And an icing call coming here. Both teams have talked about getting traffic in front of the opposing goaltenders. Well, they got the traffic in front of Ed Belfour, the Flyers did. And they got a great opportunity here, but Belfour came up big to keep this game scoreless.
There's a state where there's fun around every corner, where all cars are turbocharged, and there's a direct link between the right foot and a smile. Maybe that's why people who test drive a Saab usually buy one. This is the state of independence.
$500 bonus cash when you take immediate delivery of a new 2004 Saab 9.3 linear sports sedan. Offer ends April 30th. Residency restrictions apply. Call 1-800-SAAB-USA for details.
All right, it's between you guys. Best bartender gets the job.
After you. Oh, boy.
The best blue, please.
I've got this one. Canada's finest.
Thanks.
Break out the blue. Labatt Blue.
Is it hot in here, or is it just him?
The passage is intense. But if you complete the journey, you will find your destiny among the world's greatest warriors. The few, the proud, the Marines.
It's been a bit of a strange series for Ken Hitchcock and Pat Quinn. Play a game, 2 days off. Play a game, 2 days off. Ken Hitchcock said it's almost an unfair advantage for Toronto after having played 7 games against Ottawa. They got a chance to rest. We finished our series in 5 games to get no reward for it. So a little bit of bellyaching coming, not just from Hitchcock, but from the Flyers in general. But it is what it is.
Face-off win, shot from the far side, and the blade of the stick almost went further than the puck did. As Sundin sends it out to the line, Cleve drops it back in deep. And here's Sundin with it to the front of the net. Didn't get all the way through to Ash. Now Primo shoved to the boards by Roberts. The crowd appreciating that. Now Ronan hammers it off the boards and gets it out to center ice. Great pace to this first period here of game 3. Here's Roberts. Peels back. Magnuson took a hit, plays it up the boards, another collision, Kapanen and Roberts. I think Kapanen's been hit already more in this first period, Brian, than he was in the first 2 games.
Absolutely.
Campbell able to drive, save, Ash, rebound chance, clear to the board.
I don't think they can hurt Sammy Kapanen because he's used to the contact, but he obviously is not very big. What they want to do is make him flinch a little bit so when he goes back to the puck playing as a defenseman, which he's not very used to doing, that if he flinches and hesitates, then it might get an advantage.
Hilger just grazed the outside of the net. Now it comes out to center ice for Mark Recchi, sends it deep. Mark Kopp, the defenseman, moving in deep. Now Domi sends it along the boards, Marchman. For Francis trying to clear, knocked down by Malakoff. He held it in. Belfort forced to go back and handle it.
A lot of line changes. There'll be a lot of turnover, especially in Philadelphia. Ken Hitchcock loves to change the lines. He'll juggle a lot. Pat Quinn doesn't like to do it quite as much.
Play whistle offside, and Ty Domi looks like he grabbed somebody sticking through it aside. He still has his. He and Donald Brashear having some words.
Oh, yeah, the fans love to see this. Donald Brashear, it was Brashear's stick that got thrown away by Ty Domi. Even though Domi gives away an unbelievable amount of size to Brashear, they've tangled many times in their careers. There was a late whistle there, and Ty Domi had a collision from Markov. Danny Markov will stand up extremely well at the blue line. Domi didn't like the hit coming right at the whistle. Donald Brashear pretty much waited and said, Ty, I don't care if you like it or not.
Well, the two of them had quite a go in Game 2 of the series last year in Philadelphia, a game that the Flyers won 4-1, and Domi decided to try to stir his team up. We haven't seen that so far in this series, but
if those two get going, you don't want to be within 15 feet of the team.
Now Sharp for the Flyers, kicks it along, and Commander lays it up the boards and out to center ice. Hockeyberg got a stick on it. And now Marchman for the Maple Leafs, able to clear it back out center ice. Commander on the far side. Johnny Pitkanen back for Commander. Pitkanen was hit after he released the puck, and now it's up into the Maple Leaf bench and out of play.
I talked about Ken Hitchcock liking to change lines a lot, and he will match as best he can on the road. That guy, Keith Primo, will see a lot of Matt Sundin. He did a terrific job against him in Game 2. In Game 1, Sundin did not play. Joe Neuendijk was in the lineup, so naturally Keith Primo was against him. Primo has been a primo player in the playoffs. He was outstanding against New Jersey, only on the ice for 1 goal against in the 5-game series against New Jersey, and he's been outstanding against Toronto for 2 games as well.
Leafs win the draw. Shot blocked by Amante. Stays in the Philadelphia end. It comes back to number 11. Amante hands it off. Zhamnov quickly on the right side of Roenick. Back he tried to go to Zhamnov, but it's poked away by Leach. Back up for Roenick. Roenick takes it deep, hands it off. Zhamnov put it to the side of the net. Belfour blocked that. Roenick started to lose his balance, but got a stick out of here. Zhamnov centering pass just missed. Amante, who wheels and fires. The shot was blocked by Leach. Now McCabe did not get it out of the zone. Here is Zhamnov centering attempt. And Brian Leach clears it ahead. Now it comes to Robert Reichel, who sends it over the top of the Philadelphia net. Mercy Tucker. Now Reichel sends it out to the line. Caberlet hands it off for Sundin. That's Sundin. Holds it in deep. Fedora trying to clear. Sundin sends it back, looking for Tucker. Tucker battling there with Ragnarsson. Ragnarsson again for the Flyers, able to clear it out to center ice. Caberlet has it there.
Toronto's had some time of possession in the Philadelphia zone, but they haven't gotten the puck into the scoring areas at all. It's just mainly been in the corner work and cycling.
Belak sends it deep. Ponikarovsky went after Primo. Now Markov a collision with Belak. Here's Antropov. Antropov trying to cut in, goes around behind the net. Centering pass shot hit the goal post. Ponikarovsky finds it off the post, and it's out to center ice. Bashir trying to break with it, but it's poked off of his stick and recovered by Toronto.
That was the key because of the traffic down low. That was Wade Belak who got the attention of the Philadelphia defense right in the paint and gave the scoring chance to Ponikarovsky about 15, 20 feet out.
Now Belfour leaves it there for Marchment. This crowd chanting, "Go, Leafs, go!" at every opportunity, and it's going to be icing here. You know, Pat Quinn wanted to get more out of Antropov, Ponikarovsky, so he puts the big guy Belak with him. And boy, they had the pressure on, and they came this close to getting on the board. Still scoreless.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs, Saturday at 3 Eastern on ABC.
Okay, folks, let's get this party started. Call Seattle. Get McGregor on the phone.
Calling him now.
Morning. Morning.
This is Scott McGregor. I'll be out of the office all day. Please leave a message.
That's not like McGregor.
McGregor's not there? Great.
Excuse me, there's a Mr. McGregor here to see you.
With Southwest Airlines last-minute fares, you'll never pay more than $2.99 one way. So why would you fly with anyone else?
You are now free to move about the country.
I got you something.
Hmm? Oh, you shouldn't have. Oh, this is nice. And here's yours. I know it's not fancy, but it's what's inside that counts. And what's inside is Labatt Blue.
Wow.
Huh?
I love it.
Break out the blue. Labatt Blue.
Awesome gift. Oh, yeah.
The Saab 9.5 eats asphalt for breakfast and BMWs for lunch. The Saab 9.5 offers more horsepower and torque than the BMW 525i. The Saab 9.5. Welcome to the state of independence.
Get $500 bonus cash when you take immediate delivery of a new 2004 Saab 9.5 ARC sedan. Offer ends April 30th. Residency restrictions apply. Call 1-800-SAAB-USA for details.
Alexei Ponikarovsky looking for his first point in this series. Nearly got it here.
There's the key, though. See, that's the traffic in front that I was talking about. Robert Ashe never even really picked up the puck until it was almost too late. He's lucky that was off the post. Wade Belak was number 3 for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the crease there, causing that havoc.
Bouncing puck, nobody handled it for the Philadelphia Flyers. And they weren't able to get the icing. Now here's Ragnarsson with it. McGillney in for the hit on him. It's flipped out to center ice. Now Gary Roberts, a Flyer player, is very slow. That is Ragnarsson, very slow to get back into the play. He is limping. Boy, the last thing that Ken Hitchcock needs is another defenseman to go down. Ragnarsson hit there by Gary Roberts. Now it's deflected back into the Flyers zone. Maple Leafs unable to take advantage of that. Here's Recchi, and Leclerc just offside on the play. Well, tomorrow night, the Stanley Cup playoffs continue on ESPN and ESPN2. First is 7 Eastern on ESPN. The Tampa Bay Lightning can wrap up their series against the Montreal Canadiens. And then the Calgary Flames look to take a commanding 3-1 lead over on ESPN2 at 10 Eastern as they take on the top seed in the West, the Detroit Red Wings. Great doubleheader of Stanley Cup action on ESPN and ESPN2.
There's Marcus Ragnarsson. I'm not quite sure if it's his hip or his leg, but he got finished by Alexander Mogilny. Oh, it's the left leg. That looked like a knee-on-knee situation. Remember, in the opening shift, Ragnarsson really popped Mogilny in the open ice. Mogilny didn't like it, you could tell.
Yeah. Now Roenick took a hit as he sends it deep. Here's Belfour out to handle it. Hands it off for Caberlet. And the outlet comes to Ty Domi, who had the only goal for the Maple Leafs in their 2-1 loss in Game 2. Roenick, look out. He is hit hard by Domi in the corner. Now Kapanen, tied up by Kilger. Here is Domi. Sends it back along the end boards. Kapanen is tested there. Now Kilger knocks it free. Domi behind the net. Francis picks it up, tries to drag it to the front. And here's a centering pass by Kilger that rolls out between the circles, and the Leafs have to come back center right to get control.
Kilger could have had a goal there, but he had to move it so quickly from forehand to backhand to jam it in the net. He just couldn't do it. He had a shot, though, on that short side.
Radomojevic now, center right for the Flyers. Getting some help. Here comes Fedoruk. Just lost it off the end of the stick. Belfour out to handle the puck. Pushes it along the near board. And Caberlet hands it off for Clark Wilm. Here's Wilm, number 39 with some speed. Backhands it in behind it. It'll be chased down now by Radomojevic. Centering pass all alone with Reichel in front. The Flyers got to it. Here's Reichel again. Centering pass intercepted. And Radomojevic for the Flyers dumps it back the other way.
The Leafs really coming on. Now they're starting to create things. That extended time in the Philadelphia zone is starting to turn into scoring chances. They are starting to get the puck into the middle of the ice where they want to get those scoring chances from. A couple of special guests in the audience. Yes. NHLPA executive Bob Goodenow and Gary Bettman. They are going to have some talks tomorrow, and they'll be talking throughout this game here tonight. The collective bargaining agreement, of course, on everybody's mind. The deadline comes up in next September.
Yes. First meetings that they've had since October 1st. They are scheduled to meet tomorrow and Friday if things go well. And that was Coley Campbell that you saw from the National Hockey League sitting up a row behind Goodenow and Bettman.
And obviously they want it to be obvious that they are talking. This is the center of the hockey universe. So they're not exactly hiding here in Toronto.
No, there's no place to hide Toronto when it comes to
anything to do with the NHL.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's been reports that the two sides have agreed in principle on a reduced schedule to 72 games as part of a new agreement. Now, whether that is true or not, it's been reported in a couple of different places in the Canadian papers up here. Now the Flyers dumping it in, and Belfour hands it off now for Aki Bird. And now McCabe sends it ahead. Here's Sundin, gains the line. Looking to cut in on Malakoff. Sundin, centering pass. Esch able to cover everything down low. He was given.
Oh, and he's up
there by Roberts. Yes, Roberts was right in the crease. Now Leach sweeps it away from Recchi. Roberts being tested by Malakoff. Loose puck in front of Belfour. There was some contact with Belfour as one of the Flyers went by. Now Handzus has it knocked away by Leach. McGillney down to get it. Leach hands it off for Roberts. He plays it off the boards and out through center ice. Recovered now by Markov, the former Toronto Maple Leaf. Plays it off the boards. Here's Handzus with it. He's given a hit as he dumps it back inside the Maple Leaf zone. Under 5 minutes to go already here in this first period. They have gone up and down.
A wicked pace in this first period. A lot of turnovers back and forth, but Toronto really is starting to turn that tide, and they do want to do the same thing to Robert Esch that Philly's been doing to Eddie Belfour.
Here comes a tip. Pitkin in with a drive, and he missed the net. Maybe could have even walked in a little further. Roenick along the boards. Able to get it to the corner. Working against Caberlet. Now Zhamnov with it. Sends it out left point. Pitkin in. Gets a shot away. Tipped, and it went in just wide of the Toronto goal. Now Ty Domi. Had it knocked away. Francis couldn't get it. Pitkin in with a shot. That was blocked. Francis trying to tie up his man. Zhamnov back to the line. Kapanen a shot. That did not get through to Belfour. Flyers still have it. Knocked away by Caberlet.
Really good coverage there by Toronto deep inside the zone. Outstanding work by Leach.
Kapanen got there for the icing call.
Oh, it has been physical. There have been big hits on both sides. Alexander Mogilny working in the corner, and Hanzus, keep your head up. There'll be more of this coming.
There's a state where there's fun around every corner, where all cars are turbocharged, and there's a direct link between the right foot and a smile. Maybe that's why people who test drive a Saab usually buy one. This is the state of independence. Welcome.
Get $500 bonus cash when you take immediate delivery of a new 2004 Saab 9.3 linear sports sedan. Offer ends April 30th. Residency restrictions apply. Call 1-800-SAAB-USA for details.
Lafayette's largest automotive 10 sale is going on right now at Bill Andrews Auto Mall. For 12 days only, over 400 new Mazdas and GMC trucks and over 500 pre-driven cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs will be on display and tagged with our biggest discounts of the year. Just $19 down drive. No payments until August. 0% financing. Payments from $99 a month. Used car appraisers and wholesalers bidding top dollar for your trade and 100% credit approval. It's Lafayette's largest 10 sale, and it's only at Bill Andrews Auto Mall in Lafayette.
It's stores, shops, and services in the greater Lafayette area. It's hours of insight into local companies every day. It's the opportunity to get up close and learn fascinating secrets. It's people, places, and products that make Lafayette such a great city. It's Shop Lafayette, your chance to explore the inside of Lafayette businesses at least 5 times a day, 7 days a week on Channel 16. Shop Lafayette, only on Inside Cable, Channel 16.
We know that Ken Hitchcock is a big history buff. He's a big fan of the Civil War and Civil War history, but he was talking this morning about meeting the Dalai Lama who's here in Toronto.
Yeah, staying at the same hotel. Hitch is all about energy. He loves the energy that the hockey game brings, and he knows how to create energy for his team. He said he was so impressed with the energy of the hotel as soon as the Dalai Lama walked in. He said it was a great experience meeting him. The Tibetan monk who's actually been touring Canada, he was in Vancouver right before Game 7. Didn't work out so well for Vancouver. Hopefully Toronto won't have the same experience.
Here comes Ponikarovsky, Belak, and Antropov again. A shot from the boards does not get through. Leach started to step up, but the Flyers able to clear. Here's Brashear looking across. Oh, and it hit the crossbar. What a setup. Brashear saw that Primo was going to have a chance to get around the defenseman.
And look at the little conversation there for Eddie Belfour. Oh, that's great. Oh, would I love to be in on that conversation. Look at Eddie. He's not stopping either. It was a terrific play, Brashear to Primo, and Primo just deflected it a little too high. Watch Primo 25 going to the net. He was through. Eddie got a piece of it. Eddie got a piece of it and deflected it up and over. So Eddie must have been coming back in the face of Primo after that one. But Primo just going hard to the net. Ty Domi scored the only Toronto goal in the last game almost exactly the same way, only it went in under the crossbar. The interaction of players during the playoffs is so much fun. I wish we could have microphones everywhere, but it wouldn't be too pretty for a lot of people to listen to. It's just part of it.
Caberlet for Klee on the far side. It bounced off of McGillney right in front of Chance. Lies just wide. Leclerc couldn't get much on the shot. Well, the two teams went over 8 minutes without a shot on goal. Of course, the Primo chance wouldn't count as a shot because it clanked off the iron, and that one by Leclerc went just wide.
It's really tough to get into the scoring area. In Game 2, they both shot pucks into the crease from the side and just had guys crashing the net. We have not seen that quite as much here in this game yet as we did in Game 2.
Here is Klee back to get it out. Hands it off for Caberlet. Lead pass at center ice, knocked away, but it ends up going still into the Flyers' zone. Francis in there on Malakoff. Francis fell down on the puck, and Malakoff just poked it out of there. Zhamnov, great pass up the left side for Amonte. Looking to go wide, gets a shot away, Belfour the save, rebound onto the stick of Zhamnov. He is spun around by Kilger. Roenick over to help out. Roenick sets it up now. Markov fakes, gives it back to Roenick, or tries to, and it's knocked away to center ice.
Good job there by Ronnie Francis. He just fronted Markov. Markov had nowhere to go with it, ended up turning it over outside the line.
Markov, Zhamnov goes back. Markov a shot, and that was deflected just wide. Again, trying to get some traffic in front. Belfour and Play is whistled dead. Remind you, the Southwest Intermission Report with John, Barry, and Ray is coming up, talking hot goalies, talking the Sharks and the Avs. And I was talking with one of the referees, Paul Dvorsky, before the game about this whole goaltender interference thing. And I said, if something happens like we saw with Primo, where he was definitely hit by an opposing player and couldn't stop his momentum into the goalie, he said, we're not going to call that. But the guys have to make an effort in every situation. Primo had no chance. I mean, he actually would have missed Belfour had it not been for the Toronto player that got in the way of Primo.
Primo had the inside step, so when he got pushed from behind, yeah, you're actually going to end up at the net.
Oh, good recovery there. There's Primo again cutting in. McCabe with a great poke check.
Eddie was just waiting for a save on Keith Primo.
Elak sends it ahead. Here is Leach with it, just inside the line, trying to make a play. Ponikarovsky gets to the loose puck. Primo leans on him. Primo takes him down. We haven't had a penalty yet in this first period. The crowd wanted one there on Keith Primo.
Both teams are very cautious about penalties. The Toronto Maple Leafs have to be, because Philadelphia's power play has been very effective in these playoffs. We talked to Gary Roberts before the game about that. So Toronto in particular are very sensitive about not taking penalties.
The player's pass. Missed the mark. Picked up in the neutral zone. Will sends it ahead. Here is Tucker. Save. Rebound chance. Reichel's tied up. Good shot by Markov. Number 55 to prevent a second shot at Robert Esch. Will looking to clear, and he does get it back now into the Flyer zone. Half a minute remaining in this first period. What a pace. Turnover. Here's Tucker with it. Hands it off to Reichel. Back hits it right through the goal mouth. And it's cleared by Recchi down the ice. And it will travel far enough here for an icing call. Well, tonight on ESPN, the Stanley Cup playoffs continue, and it'll be a chance for a sweep for the San Jose Sharks. Joe Sakic and the Avalanche will have something to say about that. Exclusive coverage of this game on ESPN, presented by Nextel. That's at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement getting set to bring you the call. And here's what I'm talking about with the contact. And again,
remember the conversation that Eddie had with Primo a couple of minutes ago when Primo went diving toward the net and that deflection? Well, Eddie was waiting for him there. He got one shot in on him, but that was an excellent defensive play by Brian McKay.
Face off. Either team able to control along the boards in the Flyers zone. Backhanded now by Zhamnov. And Caberlet will chase it down. Caberlet has it. And that's going to do it for the first period of play. And for the first time in this series, we have a scoreless first period, but we had a lot of pace, and there's a lot at stake, especially for the Toronto Maple Leafs, down 2 games to none. John, Barry, and Ray are standing by to bring you our Southwest Intermission Report, coming up right after these messages.
All right, it's between you guys. Best bartender gets the job.
After you. Oh, boy.
Yeah. The best loop, please.
I've got this one. Canada's finest.
Thanks.
Break out the blue. Labatt Blue.
Is it hot in here, or is it just him?
There's a place where the wind is cool and the curves are exciting, where all convertibles are turbocharged and the sun has a very hard time keeping up. The all-new Saab 9.3 convertible. This is the state of independence. Welcome.
Get $500 bonus cash when you take immediate delivery of the new 2004 Saab 9.3 ARC convertible. Offer ends April 30th. Residency restrictions apply. Call 1-800-SAAB-USA for details.
Every day, millions of cell phones die needlessly. The cause? Dead batteries. The cure? Cell Boost. This revolutionary disposable battery charger supplies instant battery power and gives you 60 minutes of additional talk time, all for under $10. Cell Boost. Instant battery power for your cell phone. Cell Boost is available at these and other fine retailers.
Before my time is done, I will look down on your corpse and smile. I won't ask you to fight my war. You already have. The loser will burn before nightfall.
Troy, a Wolfgang Peterson film, rated R, May 14th.
tasted so big. Introducing TGI Fridays' new shrimp flavors. 3 all-new dishes overflowing with flavor. Like orange peel shrimp with a sweet and tangy glaze. Sizzling shrimp in a zesty pepper and tomato sauce. And spicy Cajun shrimp and chicken pasta. Get a taste of the new shrimp flavors. Now at TGI Fridays.
6, 7, 8, 9.
There's an online game with weekly prizes from Sears Ultimate Lawn Gear and a grand prize trip to ESPN Studios to watch baseball tonight.
990.
Just log on to ESPN.com/contests to play the great ground screw caper. It's perfect for those who love baseball and gardening. Especially baseball. Catch baseball tonight all season long on ESPN.
Welcome to the Southwest Airlines Intermission Report.
All 3 games played in Toronto, and last year's Flyers Maple Leaf series required multiple overtime games to decide. This one so far deadlocked after 20. After that period, Barry, what's going on in the locker rooms? How much talk goes on between coaches and players?
Oh, lots of talking. I'll take the Philadelphia part of it. I think Ken Hitchcock goes in there and says, we got it down to a 40-minute game, which we like. Everything worked. The defensive line of Primo did a great job defensively, and they got a couple scoring chances. So you love that from a Philadelphia point of view, being on the road in Toronto, Ray.
Yeah, Toronto started to play a little bit better in the second half of the period, and they tried to be more physical with the Flyers' defense, but they just don't get a lot of chances, so they have to be prepared when that chance comes. Ponikarovsky hit the post. They have to be able to take advantage of it. The closer the game stays, the better it is for the Leafs, because I just don't think they have the firepower to match Philadelphia. Both goalies got a break in the first period by getting some help from their post, but of course, it's always about the goaltender in Stanley Cup playoff action. Let's take a look at the best so far. The goalie's still in the playoffs, and that playoff goals against average. As you look at that list, Barry, who do you want?
There's only one guy off that list I want to play in a game for Canada or the United States for the gold medal, and that's Eddie Belfour. I think he's the best goaltender in the playoffs right now. His numbers don't show it, but the team in front of him isn't nearly as good defensively as some of those other teams.
Yeah, Belfour is the best. Traditionally, he's got the best numbers, and when I think of one guy that's been a little bit of a surprise in this playoffs, it would be Nabokov. I thought coming into the playoffs, if anybody had a chance to be this year's Jaguar, it would be him. And so far, so good. Speaking of Nabokov, he and his teammates can eliminate Colorado later tonight. We'll talk about Game 4 between Colorado and San Jose on ESPN tonight, next.
This intermission report brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the National Hockey League. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Some people don't realize how many nonstop flights Southwest offers, so we created a simple color-coded map to help. Baltimore to L.A. is red, Phoenix to Raleigh-Durham, blue, Chicago to Seattle, yellow, L.A. to Austin, canary yellow, Orlando to Albuquerque, teal, Las Vegas to Houston, aquamarine, Buffalo to Phoenix, beige, umber, San Jose to Baltimore, pistachio, Oakland to Chicago, sea green, Albany to Orlando, puce, Tampa to St. Louis, pinkish, New Orleans to San Diego, kinda green.
You are now free to move about the country.
Meanwhile, in Dad's office...
I'll be right back, honey.
Defending the network from human nature. This is the power of the network, now.
Energizer E-Squared Lithium, the 1AA battery that lasts up to 7 times longer in digital cameras. Do you have the bunny inside?
Hey, I can see the coat.
Yeah.
That's so nice of you. Yeah.
Dockers Pro Style. Shirts and pants that do it all.
Action! Remember, when you hit the water, I need you to hydroplane out of control. Water! Remember, out of control. Cut! No, cut! Cut.
Okay, fire the stunt driver.
The Michelin Hydro Edge with Michelin-engineered hydro shoes. It's our best-performing tire in its class. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
The new flamethrower burger at Dairy Queen with crispy jalapeno bacon and Tabasco flavored mayo. Do one carefully and dig you something different.
Welcome back to the Southwest Airlines Intermission Report.
Denver, the Sunshine State, gorgeous. Tonight, you can only see this game on ESPN. Sharks and Avalanche, the Avs have to win or their series is over. And Barry, the Avs are not getting any goals from their defensemen. That puts so much pressure on their big three as far as goal scoring, Hayduk, Sakic, and Forsberg.
But the thing about it is they're getting their chances. That's what's scary if you're a Colorado Avalanche fan. It's not like these stars aren't getting any chances. They're getting prime scoring chances in prime areas. They're just not putting the puck in the net. And that used to be the Avalanche strong point. You give these superstars a chance, they're going to put it in the net. Hayduk, really cold going into the playoffs, started scoring. Forsberg, best player in the world. He's getting chances. He's not putting the puck in the net. Joel Sakic's getting chances. Look at that. Wide open. All he does is have to put that 3 feet in the air, and that's a goal. So the right names for Colorado are getting the chances. Nabokov and the defense are doing a good job in front of them, but they're getting wide open chances right, and they're not putting the puck in the net. I'm worried if I'm an Avalanche fan.
Well, they better be worried because obviously they got one crack left at it, and that's in Game 4. And if you can't score on Nabokov, it's because he's seeing the puck too well. He's out on top of his crease. We saw the Hayduk shot here. Look where Nabokov gets to move to, out on top of his crease. The Avs have to get somebody right in front of the blue crease, as you see Dan Hino. That'll keep Nabokov back in the crease. Hayduk hit the crossbar right there. Nabokov was back in the crease. Evgeny Nabokov likes to play up on top of his crease. Unlike Javi Bulin, who plays back in the net, Nabokov wants to be on top of his crease. If you can't back him up in the crease, you can shoot the puck to the side of the net. There's going to be a rebound off the side. They're not beating him with clean-on shots. He's seen it too clearly.
Just 3 goals for the Avs, the fewest he's ever scored after 3 games of a playoff series. Again, that game's on ESPN tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Well, again, as you mentioned, both goalies get some help from the iron after 20. No score in Toronto.
Winning the NASCAR Championship is about outlasting the other guy. That's why I use new Red Zone Invisible Solid. It's the longest-lasting Invisible Solid from Old Spice. So you smell great all day.
New Red Zone Invisible Solid in 4 long-lasting scents. Stay in the zone.
Want to take off? Enterprise Rent-A-Car has take-off weekend specials from $9.99 a day. That's Friday to Monday, just $9.99 a day. So take off this weekend. Log on to enterprise.com or call 1-800...
Fantastic! At the Bob Urban Auto Group, we make buying a car lots of fun. Get fantastic savings on all Toyotas, Hondas, Jeeps, Lincolns, Mercury, Subarus, Mitsubishis, Hyundais, Kias, Suzuki, and Saturns right now. Save up to 10 grand or get financing as low as 0 APR.
There's only one Bob Rohrman.
Feel fantastic at the Bob Urban Auto Group, Sagamore Parkway, Teal Road, Greasy Lane, and 231 South, Lafayette.
Hey, Bob Odenkirk here. I'm hosting a show called Midnight Snack. It's going to be Fridays at midnight on Sundance Channel. A bunch of really cool films. Some of them are foreign films. Some of them are rock films. Some of them are action kung fu. Really cool movies that you should have seen already.
Sundance Channel presents Midnight Snack every Friday at midnight.
Tune into Sundance Channel on Insight Digital for Midnight Snack.
Playoffs enter crunch time with a doubleheader of pivotal Game 5s on ESPN. First, with the series now locked at 2, the Hornets head back to Miami to take on the Heat. Then, KG has the Timberwolves poised to win their first playoff series ever as they try to close out Carmelo and the Nuggets. Hornets Heat and Nuggets Timberwolves, a playoff doubleheader, Friday at 7 on ESPN.
Welcome back. Southwest Airlines intermission report. In between period festivities, boys.
Look at the size of 11. We got to get him off the roids, man.
Obviously, that's an age discrepancy. That kid's 14. The next head coach of the Boston Celtics will be Doc Rivers. It will be announced at a news conference on Thursday. He'll be the third Celtics head coach in 3 months. Second period from Toronto is on the way. No score after 20 minutes between the Maple Leafs and the Flyers. Dave Strader, Brian Engblom next with the call.
This intermission report brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the National Hockey League. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Can I tell you a secret? My man takes Levitra. Let's just say he notices a difference in the experience. Like, we should do this more often different. Why Levitra? Levitra helps improve erectile quality for men with ED. For my guy, Levitra works fast. And it gives him the quality response that he wants, time and again. That's why he counts on Levitra.
Levitra is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains or alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. In the rare case an erection lasts for more than 4 hours, seek immediate medical attention.
My man takes Levitra. It's about the quality. And for him, Levitra works. Just look at that smile. Talk to your doctor today. Levitra. Quality when it counts.
Baby Ruth, the real deal, has crunchy, whole roasted peanuts. The real deal has chewy nougat. The real deal has rich, creamy caramel. Because whether you're the man in the middle, the guy between the pipes, or a great-tasting candy bar, being the real deal is about what's on the inside. Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal.
Welcome to the wireless age. Got your HP Pavilion ZT3280 notebook PC, featuring Intel Centrino mobile technology, your HP camera and wireless printer. Setting it up was easy, right, Techno Boy? Because you went to CompUSA for that state-of-the-art HP engineering. Then CompUSA came over, set it up, and trained you for free. Who else gives you so much attention? CompUSA, unmatched.
Counting sheep will never be out of work again. Welcome to heaven.
You'll feel the difference the moment you lie down. Serta, we make the world's best mattress. Introducing Subway Fresh Salad, made right in front of you with good stuff like tender baby spinach, grilled chicken, garlic almonds, crumbled feta cheese, and tons of fresh veggies, all topped with delicious dressings. Now this is how you eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
What did I do to get over the recession? I changed my shampoo. Get new V for Men Thickening Shampoo with Virginium XY for up to 50% thicker-looking hair for better scalp coverage. New V for Men by L'Oreal Paris.
Beat the Met, beat the Met, step right up and reach the Met. Bring your kitty, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are free.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs on ESPN2. Brought to you by Coors Light. Unleash the Rocky Mountain cold taste of Coors Light. And Yahoo. It's a life engine.
Little rock and roll. They are partying here in Toronto. It is springtime playoff time, and after one period of Game 3, it is scoreless. Dave Strader back along with Brian Engblom. We had no goals, no penalties, 8 shots for the Flyers, only 3 for the Maple Leafs. But a pretty entertaining period.
Oh, it was really good. There was a lot of turnover there. I think Toronto did a really good job because they didn't take any penalties and because they really came out and were the ones that set the tone. They started skating, Philadelphia started skating, and then there was the contact, too, along the wall. And both teams really started going to the net. You have guys like Darcy Tucker that you know are going to set the tone for Toronto. So they're in good shape right now. And I think Toronto is a team now that can handle a situation where it is scoreless, even when they are at home, better than they used to. They used to run sometimes a little bit out of control, but this is a very different Toronto team this year.
Only 4 of 19 times that a Toronto team has trailed 0-2 if they come back to win the series. The last time they did it, as you saw there, was 1993, and that man, Doug Gilmour, was a big part of that team. And I remember covering the Red Wings, and Detroit not only won the first 2 games of that series, they dominated 6-1 and 6-3. And the Leafs came back, actually won the next 3 games, and had a chance to wrap it up at home. Detroit blew them out in Game 6, but it was Toronto winning in Game 7. So Doug Gilmour's message was, this series is a long ways from over. In fact, he did a guest column in one of the Toronto papers today.
Doug Gilmour was an incredible playoff performer for the Leafs.
He was something. Here is Leach. Along the boards. Toronto has not had the lead yet in this series. Antropov behind the net. Belak, who's been right around Robert Esch most of the first period, is trying to get right back there again here at the start of the second. Now Primo drops it back. Here's Malakoff with it. Malakoff to Brashear. He dumps it ahead. Devon Gagne trying to get in on McCabe. McCabe around the boards. Primo was waiting for it, but the Leafs able to get it. Bonikarovsky sets it up here. Leach with a shot. Save. That's rebound. Went by Leach. Picked up by McGillney. Sends it over to McCabe. That canceled in deep.
Brian Leach is one of the best defensemen in the league at doing exactly that. He comes from behind with such incredible speed, and he can score like a 40-goal forward.
Now Sundin, Roberts, and McGillney. Puck is jammed up in the corner. McGillney goes over to help out to get it. Wheels and fires it back to the corner. Roberts ties up his man. Here's McGillney now. Sending it for Sundin, who knocked it down with a glove. Goes back to Roberts. This line trying to cycle deep. Primo knocks it away from Roberts as they continue to battle. Now McGillney off the boards with it. Sends it across. Caberlet, a shot. And it bounces right in on Esch. And he covers up.
This Toronto team is a lot different than past years. You see a little bit of the fire and the passion that Toronto's been famous for over the last few years, but they used to run at a fever pitch, I thought, probably about 100 degrees plus. They'd be overly physical. They had a lot of hot-tempered guys, Eddie Belfour, Tucker, and Roberts, and those guys. But then this guy, Brian Leach, comes in, Ron Francis comes in, and they've helped take the team temperature down to 98.6, a lot more normal. Now they just have those feverish spikes. That works really well for the playoffs, and it's a lot less damage on the body of the team as well, too, because this Toronto team always ended up injured, and you never quite knew how they were going to get it done. So I think it's a lot better mix of control and system for Toronto now.
Oh, nearly a costly turnover there. Tucker will still hold it in now for Toronto for Clark Wilm. Tucker, Wilm, and Reichel out here now for Pat Quinn. Tucker behind the net. Now to Wilm, number 39. Malakoff gives him a shove. Now Malakoff plays it up the boards. Held in by Kent Cleve. Around on the far side, and it is held in at the line by Caberlet. Dishes it off on the far side for Reichel. Malakoff will chase it down. Or Markov, rather. Markov battling in the corner. And now Reichel spins away from his man. Reichel looking to the front. And good job by Amante to get a stick on that. Now Tucker between the circles. It's picked up now by Caberlet. Caberlet sets it up. Straight away a shot, and Esch, not exactly sure where it was, has it between the pads.
Toronto with real good stick-to-itiveness there inside the zone, moving the puck out to the point eventually, and Caberlet took the shot to the front of the net. Malakoff and Markov have played so well for the Philadelphia Flyers, and they certainly needed some help in this last sequence. But Toronto has been crashing the net more often in this game, perhaps, than they even did in Game 2. Both teams have done it. We saw Primo go towards Eddie Belfour a couple of times. Eddie exchanged a couple of words with Primo after the fact. And in this last sequence, Tucker was right there on the doorstep trying to pry it loose from the 5-hole, but Esch had it covered.
Marchman's shot was blocked by John LeClaire, who got out there quickly. LeClaire wrapped up by Kilger. Recchi gets it off the boards. It's loose in front of Esch. Tipped behind the net. And Pitkin moves it out of trouble. And here's Sammy Kapanen. He saw a lot of ice time in that first period.
And Sammy Kapanen had more ice time than anybody on either team in that first period. And again, he's a forward playing out of position on defense. Oh, big collision there. Kilger took Kapanen into the boards, and it opened the gate to the penalty box. Good thing none of them got hurt.
Puck jumps over the stick at Kapanen. Francis sends it across. Here's Kilger with it. In deep now for Ty Domi. Domi takes a look, centering pass, and it goes past Aki Berg out at the point. Here comes Belfour out to settle the puck down. We've played just over 3 minutes here. Second period. Game 3, Eastern Conference semifinals. Leafs trailing 2-0. Now McCabe with it. Waiting patiently, sends it ahead. It was deflected in deep. Belak will chase it down. Wade Belak takes a look. Here's Monakorowski. Sets it up. Quick shot by Antropov, and a save made by X. The commander was knocked down. This line really has been much more noticeable with Wade Belak out there.
Absolutely. Wade Belak has really helped set the tone with the two big Russians there for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Belak has been outstanding. He really has. He's pounded everybody every time he could, and he gets right into the crease from the Flyers' end.
Here is Primo getting a loose puck, gets the shot deflected right on. Now for the save, another chance. That was Simone Gagne. And it never got through to Belfour. Now for Shear battling with Antropov. Primo with a loose puck. McCabe working him over. Now for Shear. Sends it back to the line. Ragnarsson shot blocked in front. Ryan Leaf wants to go the other way with it. Leafs at the red line. Just dumps it to the near boards. It rolls in behind us. Both teams make a change.
There have been some interesting matchups in the first period. Keith Primo unable to get out there against Matt Sundin as much as they would have liked. Only 4 shifts against Sundin, 7 against Antropov. So Pat Quinn has been involved in a line matchup more here in Toronto than he was in Philadelphia.
Caberlet just didn't get to that puck as Tony Amonte was looking around. And now a Zhamnov pass is intercepted. And back comes Caberlet into the zone, sends it across. McGillney to the front. He was trying to set up Sundin for a redirection. And that missed net sets up this break the other way. Zhamnov tried to hit Markov, and it's back the other way. Center up. McGillney is outside. Breaking in on net for the shot. He goes!
They put them back together, and it's worked. Mogilny, Sundin, the connection they've had over the last couple of years has been dynamic. After a scoring chance for Toronto at one end, it came back into the Toronto zone. Sundin will get back to the puck. Number 13 in blue will end up with the puck. Look at him hustle to get back there. When he does get it, he turns around, looks up ice, and feeds it right on the tape. There are not too many guys who can do that. Then Alex Mogilny almost pushed the puck too far ahead of himself, made one terrific move, and it's 1-0 Toronto.
First lead of the series for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sundin will get the only assist. Second goal of the series, 39th of his career for Alexander Mogilny.
And Alexander Mogilny had hip surgery this year. He played less than half of the regular season. He was hauling it out. Whether his hip was hurting or not, he didn't care.
Well, he was so excited when he found out that he was going to be reunited with Robertson Sundin. He could hardly contain himself in the practice here yesterday.
And they could hardly contain him there.
LeClaire hit hard by Marchment. Now a loose puck. Ty Domi's going to get to it. Domi getting the shot away, but he missed the net. Pilgrim sends it back in deep. Bouncing puck. Ron Prince was trying to calm it down. And Recchi hands it off for Handzus, and Recchi is set flying.
This is the home ice advantage that Toronto was waiting for. Their fans go crazy. First time in the series that they've had a lead. Now it feels different for Philadelphia.
Big rebound off the pad of Esch. It comes all the way out to center ice. McCabe puts it up high on the glass. Belak on the far side gets the skate out of shot from an angle. Went sipping by the head of Esch.
What did that hit?
And a redirection score! Monakorowski makes it 2-0.
Go to the net and feed on the enthusiasm. The Leafs have got it all right now. This one's by the book. Just get it and throw it. Have people go in there. Monakorowski coming from the side. That is the perfect deflection. What is Robert Esch going to do about that? There is nothing you can do. Southwest Airlines GoCam will give you a pretty good idea of what Robert Esch is seeing. I got it? Oh, you're kidding me. When the guy comes from out of your field of vision, off to the side, comes into the shooting lane and redirects, not much of all he can do.
First career playoff goal for Alexei Monakorowski. And boy, the one thing that Pat Quinn said yesterday, he said, yeah, I want that line to get to the front of the net. But he said they have to bring the puck with it.
They did, but they arrived at the same time.
Yep, absolutely. McCabe gets the only assist on Ponikarovsky's first career playoff goal, and you're right, Brian, nothing that Edge could do about that long reach and the perfect deflection as the linesman whistled this one down. Well, it took some time for the Maple Leafs to get their first lead. Now they lead it by 2 here in Game 3.
Better 1 or 2? 2. Better 1 or 2?
2.
2 girls for every world.
Nice glasses.
Unleash the Rocky Mountain cold taste of Coors Light.
Democrats use Yahoo Search for hugging trees, protecting little itty-bitty insects.
Republicans will check Yahoo News for the latest on large boats.
Republicans use Yahoo to find friends, yachts, to do charitable work, yachts, to do volunteer work, to bring this country together to make it a better, more loving country.
A lot of them get their trophy wives on Yahoo.
Politics engine, commentary engine, life engine.
The Subaru all-wheel drive team, starring Subaru Forester, the best small SUV ever crash tested. 1.9 APR for 63 months. Subaru WRX, 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds. 750 cashback or 1.9 APR. And Subaru Outback, all-wheel drive ruggedness and car-like ride. Up to $1,500 cashback or 1.9 APR. Get the best deals ever on a Subaru all-wheel drive team.
Well, that was the time for these two guys. McGillney on the left made it 1-0. Ponikarovsky on the right makes it 2-0.
And that second goal is so big because now it gives a real good settling feeling for Toronto, something they haven't had in the 2 previous games.
And that puck up on the netting over the glass and out of play.
Pat Quinn's happy with what he saw in their first goal. Alexander Mogilny just flying up the ice, controlling the situation at hyper speed, still making one terrific move and scoring. Then Brian McCabe with a heads-up play. You could see he knew exactly where Ponikarovsky was headed to. He threw it there for him, and it ended up in goal number 2.
The goal is just 1 minute and 30 apart, as you see Toronto with an 8-1 advantage in shots on goal here in the second period. And the second period has been a problem for the Flyers, even though they've obviously done well in these playoffs. It was period 2 of Game 2 that Toronto dominated as well, although they didn't have as much to show for it, just the 1 goal.
That's true. Even the regular season, the second period has always been the nemesis for the Philadelphia Flyers. And you're right, Dave. It's proving to be true here again. Well, Mark Recchi would like to get going. He was outstanding in last year's playoffs. He struggled a little bit offensively this year.
Well, they've been getting it from that line of former Blackhawks, which is nice, but at some point you want to have guys like Recchi, Leclerc, Hanzus, these guys pick it up and contribute.
Well, Recchi, Leclerc, and Hanzus were really strong for certain periods in the first during the first 2 games, but you didn't see the consistent scoring chances from them all the time.
Here's Leach playing it off the boards. Kilger pushed it ahead. Domi could not get to it. And it comes back to Commander now. Amonte run into by McCabe. McCabe timed the hit perfectly and now dumps it back into the Philadelphia zone. Markov trying to spin away from the forechecking pressure of the Toronto Maple Leafs, who have a 2-0 lead. Ronick trying to weave his way. Knocked away, and back come the Maple Leafs again. Kilger backhands it in deep. He was at the end of his shift. And that big line of Belak and Menchikov, Ponikarovsky come back out. Markman came running across it. Amatu. Oh, and Ponikarovsky is going to get the first penalty of the game.
Oh, some heavy contact.
Oh, boy.
Ponikarovsky on Tony Amonte. But Marchment, who has certainly been known to do it, Brian Marchment has been hunting in the neutral zone. He's come across a few times. And that certainly sets a tone, too. Marchment's really good at that. Make sure that those Philadelphia Flyers have their heads up coming through, because you know this guy, if he's out on the ice, he's hunting you down somewhere. But the second hit came from Ponikarovsky right along the wall. There's Marchman on the first one. He actually missed Amante, but that was no miss. That Ponikarovsky who came for the pin along the boards. I don't know if they're calling that boarding or what it is, but I think because it appears to me that because Amante was in such a susceptible position being down low, and he got hammered into the end wall, Ponikarovsky ends up with 2 minutes. So a big chance here for the Flyers, whose power play has been good throughout the playoffs to get themselves back in the game.
Well, Ken Hitchcock, you see they called it hooking. I'm not sure where that came from, unless it was something.
It came from farther behind the play then. That obviously wasn't a hook on that collision.
Ken Hitchcock said the reason that we're up 2-0 has really been the play of our special teams. The penalty killing has not allowed a Toronto power play goal, and both goals for the Flyers in Game 2 came with a man advantage. So, because of the way this game's going, Brian, this is a big penalty kill for Toronto. They don't want to give the momentum back. That was not a necessary penalty. A steal by Reichel, but he stumbled a bit. Not going to be able to take advantage of it. Now Kapanen out from the Flyer zone with some speed. Hands it off for Recchi. Run into by McCabe. Now Leclerc to the loose puck. He is hit by McCabe. They continue to battle. Kapanen left point. Trying to go to Recchi. It's in along the M-board. Leclerc has it there. Now for Hansen. Leach knocks it away. Goes up the board with it now for Darcy Tucker. And Tucker will shoot it down the ice.
And this is where the Philadelphia Flyers really miss Tim Janssen. Tim Janssen is their best power player.
Absolutely.
He directs traffic. He has a great shot. But, of course, he's still out of this series with that broken bone in his hand. Brian McCabe came across and just hammered Mark Recchi into the boards, and I believe he even got one of the linesmen along with him. Number 8 White along here. Look at McCabe. McCabe had him lined up. It was huge contact. Recchi saw him coming at the last second and was able to escape part of it. But I think the knee of the linesman actually probably did more damage on Mark Recchi than anything. Yeah, he's getting his visor fixed right now, probably because of the knee. But you saw the Marchman hit coming backwards like that, and then Brian McCabe. So now the Toronto defense are feeling pretty good about themselves defensively. You have to be full of yourself to have confidence to come across and go for big hits like that. But if you miss, you better be careful too.
Just over half a minute remaining in this Flyers power play. Zhamnov into the zone. Hands it off now for Roenick. Roenick sends it back to the line. Pitkin straight away. Gives it back now for Zhamnov. Trying to go deep with it. It made its way to Amante. Roenick battling in the crease area. Boy, did they take away the time and space from Zhamnov or what?
Exactly right. What Zhamnov was doing before when they got the puck down low, he walked it right into the crease area. That's how he scored in the last game. Toronto did a sort of a cycle job there. The defenseman in front of the net went right to the corner and absolutely took Zhamnov out of the picture.
Ponikarovsky out of the box. So a big penalty kill for the Maple Leafs to keep this momentum that they built. Getting to 2 goals in the span of a minute and 30 seconds. 8.5 remaining in the second period here of Game 3 of this Eastern semifinal series. Belfour pushes it along the board. Primo didn't get much on the shot. Puck is in the glove of Belfour, and he hangs on. Toronto Maple Leafs taking advantage of the crowd. They have a 2-0 lead.
76 over.
See this group of smoking hot chicks who just shot down guy number 6. But to get the ladies, all you need to unveil is your 4-legged buddy with his 9-inch tail. Wing dog makes pickup lines disappear. If he could hold one, you buy him a beer. Wing dog.
Unleash the Rocky Mountain cold taste of Coors Light.
No, 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 wrong. Mayday, mayday.
Not a good time.
Exactly, not a good time. I don't like it.
My client? How bad?
What is with the marble? Very, very bad. People don't listen. Too many trees.
Doing the smile thing.
This is a joke, right? Doing it now.
Relax. You're under budget.
We're under budget. We're under budget. We're under budget. I love it. Loves it.
Oh. Coast to coast walkie-talkies get it done. Nextel.
Introducing Subway Fresh Salads, like our new Atkins-friendly grilled chicken and baby spinach salad with Atkins sweet as honey mustard dressing, and our Atkins-friendly classic club salad with ranch dressing. Now this is how you eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh. Energizer E-Squared Lithium, the 1AA battery that lasts up to 7 times longer in digital cameras. Do you have the bunny inside?
And there is Walter Gretzky, father of the great one, in attendance here. And the home team with a 2-0 lead over the Flyers. Dave Schrader back along with Brian Engblom, the rest of our crew.
This building can be unbelievable in the playoffs.
It is
and they are juiced up. They needed something to cheer about. Matt Sundin started it with that terrific pass to Alexander Mogilny, which made it 1-0, and the Leafs fans haven't looked backwards since.
Sundin wins the draw from Primo. Two guys that are both very proficient in the face-off circle. It is sent in wide of Robertet, and an icing call. Well, tomorrow night, more of the Stanley Cup playoffs here on ESPN2 and ESPN as well. First at 7 Eastern on ESPN, presented by Nextel. The Tampa Bay Lightning can wrap up their series in 4 straight against the Montreal Canadiens. And then here on ESPN2 at 10 Eastern, the Red Wings want to try to even things up against the Calgary Flames. That gets underway at 10 Eastern here on ESPN2. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
Donald Brashear is in terrific shape, and part of the reason he has this system that he has in his bedroom would actually pressurizes his bedroom to altitude, so it makes his system work even while he's sleeping. He said it gives him a lot more energy. I've never heard of that before. The stuff you can do science-wise now is incredible.
And not a cheap system to install.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard it's in the order of about 30 grand to do it.
Markov nearly stumbles, now pitching it with it. He sends it back out the other way. And now Belfour. Klee. Oh, Klee is hit hard. His head goes into the boards. That was Sharp that hit him.
And Klee, yeah.
Darcy Tucker right away over Patrick Sharp. It didn't look like it was going to be that dangerous a hit, but there was no question that the head of Klee...
He got sandwiched right along the glass, there's no doubt. He was trying to play a bouncing puck along the wall, and he's standing still, so you're a sitting duck. The puck is bouncing right there. That's why he's standing in one place. Fedora comes in and crushed him, and he hit, I think, the partition that holds the glass. That's sort of a metal strip that holds the glass, pieces of glass where it comes together. And he got the old melon and just bonked there.
Yeah, but Patrick Sharp was there, but you're right, it was Fedora that leveled the hit. Fedora got a penalty here for boarding.
A chance for Toronto to get something going on their power play, and this will mean something in the long term for the Leafs, who are finally in the driver's seat in this game, at least 2-0 lead. First time they've ever had one, but their power play has struggled. They haven't really gotten anything going. They haven't scored power play goals when they've needed to. This is a good chance not only to build the lead here on the scoreboard, actually to get some confidence in the power play.
Play is offside at the Flyers line.
I admire Matt Sundin and players like this, but in the playoffs in a clutch situation when you're down by 2 games saying, we just got to be better. There are no excuses. I play with Mogilny. I play with Roberts. We have time out there. We're expected to produce, and we do. Matt Sundin said all those things yesterday, and they've come through with it. You got to love that.
Now Malakoff pushing it along the boards, but here comes McCabe. Oh, big collision, McCabe and Malakoff, and the Flyers able to clear. Toronto Maple Leafs 0 for 6 so far in this series. McGillney blocks the clearing attempt, leaps with a shot, he fires it wide. Boy, the Flyers dodged one there. Primo didn't realize the puck was right at his feet. Now it's cleared back into the Toronto zone.
Yeah, Malakoff had a chance to clear that one. It wasn't even a good entry by Toronto. Malakoff didn't clear the puck, and it ends up in a terrific scoring chance for Brian Leetch.
Sundin dumped it in, had not yet gotten to the red line. He was actually trying to set up one of his line mates, and that's an icing call.
Well, we knew Toronto coming into this game. It was pretty obvious. They only scored 2 goals in this series so far in 2 games. It had to get better. During the regular season, they were 4th in the National Hockey League. They have a balanced attack. They added a guy like Brian Leetch from the back end who makes a world of difference. They brought in Ron Francis, one of the greatest scorers ever in regular season or in the playoffs. And it just wasn't happening. But they've got 2 so far, so maybe that tide is starting to change.
Of course, the longer that Toronto can extend this series, better chance they have of getting some people back. Neuendijk skated this morning, which Pat Quinn said was a good sign, that he was not going to play tonight, but just the fact he said that he was on the ice and not on the trainer's table. And Toronto, 2 minutes to go. 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 2 McCabe hands it off. Monakorowski, who has one of the two Toronto goals, sends it deep. Antropov battling there with Ragnarsson. Now off the board for McCabe. McCabe had it blocked there by Roenick. And the Leafs have to come back center ice and regroup. Francis into the zone. They're trying to catch the Flyers on a change here. Shot saved by Esch. Big rebound swept away by Handzus.
Nice job by Commander in front of the net, standing his ground and getting that puck and clearing the rebound, even with Ron Francis converging on it.
Play whistle down. Matt Sundin's not really sure why. NHL.com for score stats fantasy and the official store of the NHL. NHL.com, the official site of the Stanley Cup.
Well, we wondered if Brian McCabe would play in this game because he didn't practice the last 2 days. He stopped a shot in Game 2 with the inside of his foot that must have swelled up an awful lot after the game and the next day. And he said all along, no, I'll play, don't worry. Watch this 24 in white, the inside of his left foot. He'll take a severe slap shot right on the inside. And, I mean, that is so painful. He stumbled around there for a few minutes. You could see how much pain he was in. He did finish that game, but did not skate for 2 days. He's been flying out there again tonight.
Bedore set to come out of the box, so each team 0 for 1 on the power play in this game. Gagne hands it off Primo. Keith Primo looking to make the play from the face-off circle. Gagne is there as well. Puck comes green. It's poked ahead to Robert Reichel. He is bumped by Fedoruk. Darcy Tucker takes over. Sends it in deep now. Now Tucker tries to go back for Clark Will. Flyers clear it on the far side. Reichel with a hit there on Gagne. Primo comes in. Runs into Darcy Tucker.
That careful part of the game is really back again, isn't it? Both players on both teams trying not to make any mistakes. Both of them playing controlled and disciplined through most of this series.
Back out to the line. Now a pass to the front of the net. Score! Kilger! Great redirection. 3-0 Toronto.
Are you sure it wasn't Pat Quinn that saw the Dalai Lama today? Something divine is happening for Toronto here because this one was basically a gift. A shot from the point that changes direction. And Kilger is in the right place. It barely is kept in. That shot is not anywhere near the net. It goes right to Kilger. He deflects it from an impossible angle. And there's very little chance for Robert Esch to get over and make a save. 3-0 Toronto.
Third career playoff goal for Chad Kilger as Recchi gets a weak shot toward Belfour. Philadelphia had 8 shots, Brian, in the first period. They've had only 2. Ryan Marchment, who made the great play at the line to hold it in, gets the only assist.
That was the critical part of that play, too, because it was fractions of an inch, maybe an inch away from being offside, just barely kept in. A bouncing puck that Brian Marchment had the concentration level to keep it in the zone. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And ends up right on the stick of Chad Kilger.
Here comes Roenick now onto a loose puck. Roenick against McCabe. Hands it off now for Zhamnov. Zhamnov goes back to Amante. Robert steps into him. Gives him a couple of shoves. Another one. Amante trying to battle to the front of the net. Takes a pass, but a shot well wide of the mark. Now Commander will hold it in. Roberts drives Roenick hard into the end boards. And McCabe comes up with it as Roenick has something to say to the referee Dvorsky. Here's Alexander McGillney. McGillney had it poked away by Ragnarsson. Now McGillney sweeping it toward the Flyers goal. Commander plays it off the boards and out to center ice. Roenick has it there. He is bumped by Sundin.
The energy in the building is so pro-Toronto, which is obvious from the score at 3-0. But you can tell it is definitely a struggle for the Flyers right now, just to stay even.
Antropov takes the shot. Now he dumps it to the front of the net. Look, Monakorowski save made by Esch. Monakorowski almost had his second goal. Look out. Marchment went low there on Brashear, and there comes out.
Here we go.
Marchment went looking, and he didn't miss by much.
Brian Marchment is a hunter. He came across there. And Donald Brashear saw him at the last second, but then it was the second collision right along the wall. And you know when Brashear gets in the middle of things that things are not going to go away quietly. Ryan Marchment is an effective guy, and you got to have your head up. Steve Brashear saw him at the last second, even with no stick. He didn't see this one coming.
Better 1 or 2? 2. Better 1 or 2?
2.
Unleash the Rocky Mountain cold taste of Coors Light.
The Subaru all-wheel drive team, starring Subaru Forester, the best small SUV ever crash tested. 1.9 APR for 63 months. Subaru WRX, 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds. 750 cashback or 1.9 APR. And Subaru Outback, all-wheel drive ruggedness and car-like ride. Up to $1,500 cashback or 1.9 APR. Get the best deals ever on the Subaru all-wheel drive team.
Before Tiger, why do you play golf? Before Nicholas, because I love it. Before Palmer, there was Bobby Jones. Bobby Jones, Stroke of Genius. Rated PG. Starts this Friday at theaters everywhere.
Get into Taco Bell for the cheesy Gordita Crunch. Warm flatbread covered in 3 melted cheeses wrapped around a crunchy taco and topped with a zesty pepper jack sauce. Oh, cheesy.
I like cheesy.
To get crunchy, chewy, cheesy, and melty, think outside the box.
Brian McCabe has been an impact player in more ways than one. This is the play I was talking about on the goal. That is fractions of an inch from being offside. His concentration level just to hit that rolling puck in the direction of Chad Kilger. I will give him the credit that he knew exactly where it was. Kilger ends up with a goal, and then on the attack, as Marchment usually is in the neutral zone, going for the big hit. Yes, every one of the Philadelphia Flyers with their heads up.
So Aki Berg of the Maple Leafs took the only penalty in that exchange just before the break. So the Philadelphia Flyers with a power play, and Brecky, they're saying, did not stay onside.
I apologize if I said Brian McCabe. I was thinking Brian Marchment. Wrong, Brian.
Intermission report coming up. John Barry and Ray, Sharks and Avs preview. And Doc Rivers has been named the new head coach of the Celtics. Will that cure their woes? All that coming up. That's just too many Bryans for you to keep track of, Brian.
I thought it was nice of them to keep all the first names the same. Brian McCabe, Brian Leafs, Brian Marchment.
And here is Reichel with a fake. Lets it go now. That's the save. And Recchi has it now. With 2 minutes straight up left here in the second period. Leafs with a 3-0 lead. Trying to climb back into this series with Game 4 here on Friday night. And McCabe able to send it all the way down the ice.
And Philadelphia's a little off kilter. I mean,
yeah,
Toronto has really turned the tide.
Zhamnov hands it off. Magnuson dumps it in. Picked up now by Zhamnov. Sends it out to the line. Kitchen in. Back for Zhamnov. Now the Flyers get it spread out with a man advantage. 40 seconds left in the Toronto penalty. Monty on the far side. Zhamnov trying to protect the puck. Monty again. Caberlet wraps him up. Zhamnov to Roenick. Roenick sends it across to the far side. Pitching it back for Zhamnov. With puck Amonte. He scores! Tony Amonte on the power play. And the Philadelphia Flyers right back in this one, down by 2.
Tony Amonte has probably been the most dangerous Philadelphia Flyer in this game so far, and he just does a real nice job of settling this puck down in traffic, getting those great hands to work. It was the traffic of Zhamnov going in front of the net as this puck started from the point from Pitkanen, and I think it actually hit Zhamnov in the mouth on that deflection. It allowed Tony Amonte to find the handle on it. Watch this right here. Oh, yeah, it hits him right in the side of the head. Zhamnov, number 23 white. And then it just settles right in front of Tony Amonte, but the scoring hands of Amonte come through for Philadelphia.
Pitching in and Zhamnov as we have an icing call here.
Alex Zhamnov has found an awful lot of ways to come up with points, and he'll get an assist on that using his noggin, and that'll be 8 straight games for Zhamnov, where he gets at least 1 point in the game.
Yeah, he's every playoff game now for the Philadelphia Flyers. And
Tony Amonte doing a terrific job. There's another look. See how it hit him right in the face. And Tony Amonte, really cool and calm, puts it right past Belfort.
Early Zhamnov has gone down to the dressing room.
I suspect he would have been cut clean, and that puck was really moving when it deflected up into the side of the net.
Outlet pass down Leach. Hands it off for Ponikarovsky. Here's Leach with it again. Leach waits, makes a move. Now Leach trying to get himself free from the shot. He does. Save made by Esch. Rebound hit behind the Flyer goal. Leach was looking to get it out in front. That'll be held in at the line by McCabe. Under 20 seconds remaining in the period. Simone Gagne gets control here for the Flyers and backhands it in deep behind Belfort. Final seconds ticking down. And that's going to do it for this second period.
The Toronto Maple Leafs are in control of this game. Yeah, Monte got a goal for the Flyers to get themselves a chance here, but Toronto's really controlling this right now.
No goals in the first, 4 in the second, 3 of them by the Maple Leafs. McGillney got it going. Ponikarovsky with a deflection. It went to 3-0. The perfect play there by Kilger. But Amonte has made it 3-1. The Dodge Intermission Report right after this.
The Subaru all-wheel drive team, starring Subaru Forester, the best small SUV ever crash tested. 1.9 APR for 63 months. Subaru WRX, 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds. 750 cashback or 1.9 APR. And Subaru Outback, all-wheel drive ruggedness and car-like ride. Up to $1,500 cashback or 1.9 APR. Get the best deals ever on the Subaru all-wheel drive team.
Better 1 or 2? 2. Better 1 or 2? 2.
Unleash the Rocky Mountain cold taste of Coors Light.
George Lopez here in front of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror opening May 5th at the Disneyland Resort. You know, when I was a kid, my mom wouldn't take me to Disneyland. She said, you want to see a mouse? Pull out the fridge. Watch the special George Lopez Friday, April 30th, and count all the hidden Mickeys in the show. And if you find the most Mickeys, you can win a VIP vacation for 4 to Disneyland and $10,000.
I can't find any.
Go to abc.com to enter and for rules.
The Great Mouse Hunt with George Lopez. Friday at 8/7 Central, part of TGIF on ABC.
Hey, Bob Odenkirk here. I'm hosting a show called Midnight Snack. It's going to be Fridays at midnight on Sundance Channel. A bunch of really cool films. Some of them are foreign films. Some of them are rock films. Some of them are action kung fu. Really cool movies that you should have seen already.
Sundance Channel presents Midnight Snack every Friday at midnight.
Tune into Sundance Channel on Insight Digital for Midnight Snack.
The Atlanta Braves are back on TBS. Catch the best in Major League action all season long.
There's a drive. Did he get enough of it? Listen to this crowd.
Don't miss a game or even a pitch. Atlanta Braves baseball all season on TBS.
Welcome to the Dodge Intermission Report.
Toronto, just 16 playoff goals in 9 games before tonight. The fewest amount of goals of all of the remaining playoff teams. They get 3 so far, and Barry, when you get goals from Ponikarovsky and Kilger and you're struggling to score goals, that's a big lift.
Yeah, but you know what I love about Toronto? In sports, we have a problem here. We talk about X's and O's too much. We talk about systems too much. The Toronto Maple Leafs are nothing about those things. They're about passion and character. Game 5 against Ottawa. Ottawa had all the momentum. Sundin's out of the lineup. They find a way to win that game. Game 3 against Philly. Philly's playing great hockey. Toronto comes in with a great effort, and everybody contributes. This team is not about systems, Ray. It's about what's inside the body, man, heart.
And Philadelphia hasn't matched it this evening. Right from the first period on, I thought Toronto, from the middle of that first period, Toronto took the game over. They were physical. They pushed the Flyers back on their heels, which hasn't happened very much in the playoffs. Also thought it was very interesting on Alexander McGillney's breakaway goal. So he beat Sami Kapanen on, who was playing defense. He's a forward playing for Kim Janssen, but that's the first mistake Kapanen's made on defense. It'll be interesting to see if Kim Janssen comes back in Game 4. 10 o'clock Eastern tonight on ESPN exclusive coverage. The only place you can watch Game 4 between the Sharks and the Avalanche. The Sharks win, they move on, and the Avs go home. For a preview of the men who will call the game, Gary Thorne and Bill Clement.
John, thanks very much for the Colorado Avalanche. Unusual territory, Bill, for a must-win game or they are gone. So now your Stars have got to rise to the occasion.
Speaking of gone, we may be watching Peter Forsberg's last game in North America in this hockey game. If the Colorado Avs do not win, Peter Forsberg may go back and play in Sweden for the rest of his career. We're just not sure, so we may be seeing his last game. But besides that, the Colorado Avs have to generate some offense to make sure that this is not Peter Forsberg's last game or their last game. And San Jose's done a tremendous job of really taking a quality that Peter Forsberg has and turning it around against him. They know he's going to engage. They know he is really competitive. They know he never shies away from man-on-man confrontation. So what they've done is they've come at Peter Forsberg in layers. Most of the time he's taken the bait. I'm not so sure it wouldn't be better for Peter Forsberg to play on the outside, forget about the physical stuff, and generate some offense that way.
We've talked a lot about Nabokov because he has been very good, maybe not spectacular. We've talked about their defense, but for San Jose, what's getting lost here is the fact they're scoring some goals.
Yeah, without a doubt. And they are riding one big line with one big center. The guy that's really come into his own, their captain, Patrick Marleau. The sign of things to come came in Game 1 of this series when Patrick Marleau picked up a hat trick. And with the play of Dimitrakos on one side and Vincent Domfus on the other side, this is a line that in 3 games has combined for 7 goals and 9 assists against the Avs. I mean, the Avs would kill to trade numbers with them.
And the Avs need to trade those numbers or they're going to be trading the skates for shoes. In their effort in Game 3 to get into it, it was a lot of great black and blue hitting, a defensive struggle. But, John, in the end, 1 goal by Vinny Damphus at the back of the goaltender made the difference.
That's all it took. When we come back, Barry and Ray will comment on Game 4 between Colorado and San Jose. Again, that's on ESPN tonight, 10 Eastern Time. What will it take for the Avs to win 4 in a row, and what will it take for the Sharks to move on to the conference final?
This intermission report, presented by Dodge, the official road team of the NHL. Grab life by the horns. Dodge.
Describe the perfect day, Liz.
Well, we're driving to the lake, the kids watch a DVD, and Joe and I have some quality time.
Joe?
Okay, we're barreling along. The Hemi's kicking some serious butt. Then we fish.
Ah, see, you're not traveling in the same vehicle.
The all-new Durango. Big size, smooth ride, Hemi power.
What a quack.
0% financing or $3,000 in combined cash allowances plus a great warranty gets you the best values in America.
Hey, y'all. I got the new Buffalo Chicken Pizza from Pizza Hut.
Buffalo chicken on a pizza. Sweet. Awesome. Way to go, Jess.
Buffalo chicken. That's a buffalo with wings, right, Jess?
I know. Buffaloes don't have wings.
Pizza Hut's new Buffalo Chicken Pizza. Boneless, all-white meat chicken marinated in a zesty buffalo sauce. It's $4.99 when you buy a large pizza at menu price.
Come on, slap them again.
Gather around the good stuff.
Excuse me, are you happy with the choices in your 401ks?
When my only real choice was company stock?
I've had 5 jobs, so 5 401ks. Who knows?
I'm happy now. I rolled over my old 401ks to TD Waterhouse. Thanks, guys.
Choice lets you diversify. At TD Waterhouse, they offer CDs, stocks, bonds, and thousands of mutual funds, including 1,500 with no transaction fee. If you want more choice, choose TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers like Merrill and Schwab.
Ah, spring. Time for the sweet sounds of
Pucks, ringing the post, and big-time hits. Before you get cup crazy, get Java technology from Sun Microsystems. It's in millions of phones, computers, and smart Java cards. And it connects you to the best NHL action. Use your Java-powered phone or computer for a secure connection to live scores and games like NHL Power Shot Hockey. Get in the game at java.com or nhl.com. Sun Microsystems. The network is the computer.
Take me fishing and show me how to drive the boat.
Take me fishing, so we'll always have something in common.
Take me fishing, because my wedding will be sooner than you think.
To learn more about boating and fishing, visit waterworkswonders.org.
This is the Dodge Intermission Report.
Game 4 tonight, Sharks and Avalanche. Sharks providing the offense, and their power play is strong. But, Ray, last year and the end of this regular season, Colorado's PK hasn't really been among the elite of the league. Why?
Well, they start chasing the puck around. They're going to miss Rob Blake again if he's not in the lineup. And when you're playing a team that is hot on their power play, you have to be compact. You cannot make any mistakes, Barry. And for a guy that never killed penalties, I love seeing the penalty killers run all over the place on the power play.
Well, you know what I think this game is going to come down to? I think this game is going to come down to which team wants it the most. The Sharks have wanted the most the first 3 games. X and O's don't matter. I talked about the heart and soul of the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're going to find out what the Colorado Avalanche have inside their chest tonight, because they haven't been good the first 3 games. They haven't played as a team. There's been a lot of letdowns and guys that aren't playing very well. So that team is going to show a lot of things tonight to a lot of people.
Rob Blake is doubtful. When he plays, the Avs win 64% of their games. When he doesn't, they win just 54% of their games. Alex McGillney, finally another goal. His team is up by 2.
Emu's on the loose. Emu's on the loose.
Where?
Everywhere.
Where everywhere?
New York City.
The trade show.
Big problem. Yeah, any ideas?
Mama.
Mama?
Here, Mama.
Coast to coast walkie-talkies get it done. Nextel.
Welcome to the wireless age. Got your HP Pavilion ZT3280 notebook PC featuring Intel Centrino mobile technology. Your HP camera and wireless printer. Setting it up was easy, right, Techno Boy? Because you went to CompUSA for that state-of-the-art HP engineering. Then CompUSA came over, set it up, and trained you for free. Who else gives you so much attention? CompUSA, unmatched.
Okay, sir, here's your Avis care package with local information, traffic rules, and a map.
What would it be like if Avis didn't try harder?
Did Brad ask about me? Well,
do you have a map?
I gave you a map. Uh-huh.
No, you didn't. I never... I never got it.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Can I have another map?
No.
Okay. If we didn't try harder, we wouldn't be Avis.
Thanks.
Now earn double miles or get double dollar savings with Twice the Love at Avis. Learn more at avis.com.
Dear Bobby, how much ice time did you log last game? Sincerely, Mark. Dear Mark, which game?
The Boston Celtics' muddy waters will attempt to be dredged by Doc Rivers. Rivers will be named the head coach of the Boston Celtics as early as Thursday. The Celtics have had 3 coaches in 3 months. All right, here we go. Toronto's been a much better offensive team at home this playoff season. So far, so good here. 3 goals after 4.
This intermission report, presented by Dodge, the official road team of the NHL. Grab life by the horns. Dodge.
Enjoy your new Durango.
Look, it's got a DVD. And see how smooth the ride is for you and Jeffy?
Liz, what are you doing to him?
I'm just showing little Joey the new Durango.
Son, there's only one thing you need to know. Hemi, Can you say Hemi?
Hemi.
That's my boy.
The all-new Dodge Durango. Big size, smooth ride, Hemi power. 0% financing or $3,000 in combined cash allowances plus a great warranty gets you the best values in America.
Mr. Wendy here, unofficial spokesman, making sure people don't eat bad food late at night. There's no point. Just go to Wendy's. Get a really good classic hamburger made fresh. Excuse me, sir. Oh.
Wendy's pickup window is open till midnight or later.
For 2,800 years, the story has only been imagined. This May, the legend will live. Troy, rated R, May 14th.
Getting my paws on those delicious s'mores used to be a whole to-do. Now Hershey's has taken their pure milk chocolate and wrapped it around graham cracker bits and chewy marshmallow.
There you go.
So it's easy to get all the s'mores I want.
Hershey's S'mores, a simpler way to enjoy a classic.
Rain-X Car Wax not only shines your car, it protects it from Mother Nature. In fact, there's nothing Mother Nature can do to harm it. Well, almost nothing. Rain-X's transparent polymer repels rain, dirt, and absorbs UV rays. Rain-X Car Wax, protection you can see.
When Yamaha set out to build the world's ultimate off-road vehicle, it had to have the greatest ground clearance.
Jack!
Independent front and rear suspension.
Jack!
Toughness.
He's tough.
And of course, seating for two. The all-new Rhino 660 four-wheel drive from Yamaha. It's a whole new breed of off-road vehicle.
Oh, man, there's a line.
Dockers Pro Style. Shirts and pants that do it all.
Now, I don't want to scare anyone, but with thinning hair, you could end up looking like this. It's not a good thing.
Get new V for Men Thickening Shampoo for up to 50% thicker-looking hair for better scalp coverage. New V for Men by L'Oreal Paris.
Get caught up on the day in sports starting at 11 with Sports Center.
This news just went down.
Then Outside the Lines nightly.
The topic, steroids and drug testing.
Followed by Baseball Tonight.
Why not just use your bullpen?
The entire day in sports, weeknights starting at 11 Eastern on ESPN. The Stanley Cup playoffs on ESPN2. Brought to you by Dodge, the official road team of the NHL. Grab life by the horns. Dodge. And Bud Light, the proud sponsor of the NHL. Fresh, smooth, real. Bud Light. It's all here.
And welcome back here to Air Canada Center. And Ty Domi is the one that made the play on the Chad Kilger goal. And we got to give Ty Domi his credit. Keeping that puck in at the blue line. Thought it was 27, not 28. Right at the blue line, that puck that came within fractions of an inch of going offside. There's Marchment. It goes back to the blue line, and Ty Domi right here comes in. He's the one that whacks it. Ty Domi whacks it down to Chad Kilger, and Kilger redirects it in. That made it 3-0 at the time. So Ty Domi, who has played strong throughout the playoffs, has scored a goal in Game 2. Gets a big assist here in Game 3. Marchment still gets an assist because he had touched the puck as well. So it's Kilger from Domi and Marchment. Well, let's see how that power play goal for the Philadelphia Flyers at the end of the second period affects the start of this third period here. Well, now they're announcing something different than they had on the score sheet. I guess they're taking an assist away from Marchment. It'll be Domi and Francis assisting on the goal. But at any rate, it is 3-1 in favor of the Toronto Maple Leafs as this pass deflected by a flyer all the way down the ice, so it's not going to be icing. Kapanen will have to go back to get it. And the wholesale line changes coming for both teams, so the game is still on between Ken Hitchcock and Pat Quinn. Now here's Roenick. Wanted to pull up, Ken Klee. Able to make the good defensive play, knocked it away. And now here comes Sundin with it. Sundin into the zone. Tries to make the move to get around Amonte. And it jumps over the stick of Klee back inside the Maple Leaf zone. Caberlet has it there.
Dante's goal late in that second period, getting the Flyers back to within 2. Centering pass here. And Zhamnov was just tied up by Klee at the last second. Now it comes to Caberlet. He plays it ahead. Francis with a little trouble handling the puck, gets it in now, and Esch with a Flyer tries to clear it back. Francis gets a stick on it again. Now Johnny Pitkin will chase it down. Domi, nice play to knock it out of midair and keep it in the Flyers' end. Now it comes to Recchi. Recchi able to get it to Hamzus out to center ice, and picked up by Pitkin, and 65-footer deflected up high over the glass and out of play.
Well, it doesn't really surprise me much that Brian McCabe and Brian Leach are +1 in this game. They are up all the time, playing in all situations, play against the top lines all the time, against Ottawa in the first round and against Philadelphia here. +1 in this game makes them +6 for the playoffs. That is incredible considering the amount of ice time. They both play about 29 minutes. And again, when you have to make sure that you play well defensively against the top line, and then to contribute offensively is astounding that they have those types of numbers.
Yeah. Here is Sharp with it now. Patrick Sharp clears it up the left side. That jumped over the stick of Fedoruk. Marchment being pursued by Fedoruk. Well, the stick may have come up. Marchment tried to let the officials know that it did, but he very smartly just kept on playing when he didn't hear a whistle. Chased down by Radovojevic. Marchment and Fedoruk tie each other up. Radovojevic hands it out. Sharp with a drive, and he just missed the net. Pitkin in, holds it in left point. Sends it along the boards. Fedoruk trying to protect it. Now Fedoruk dives to poke it out to Pitkin, and a shot right through. Belfort the save, steers into the corner. Now Aki Berg for the Maple Leafs puts it up on the glass. Chipped ahead now for Clark Wilm. Commander has the angle on him. And Wilm just dumps it in, as both teams looking to make changes here. 3 minutes gone by in the third period.
Toronto's doing everything by the book already. They've got a 2-goal lead here. They're keeping everything to the outside. They're not going to take any chances offensively. They're going to force Philadelphia to have to step on the gas pedal and perhaps leave something open that might give them the chance to add to their offensive lead.
Well, Brian McCabe, as you mentioned, playing with Brian Leach, and we talked to him earlier in the series about playing with the great number 2.
It's been great for me. You know, I've never really had the opportunity to play with a future Hall of Famer and, you know, Norris Trophy winner. So I've been learning a lot from him. He's such a calming influence on me out there. Sees the ice so well, and, you know, to watch him skate that puck is unbelievable. So it's been a treat for me, absolutely.
The thing that's underrated about Brian Leach's game is how good he is behind his own blue line. He is not just an offensive player. He reads the rush as well as any defenseman in the game.
Podkorowski shot off the glove of Esch. Here's Antropov back to the line. McCabe sends it back in deep. Brashear able to get it for the Flyers now for LeClaire. He goes rink wide with it. And the Leafs dump it right back in. Esch moves it quickly now. LeClaire has it. LeClaire dumps it in deep behind Belfort. Bouncing puck. It'll be recovered by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Down 2 games to none in this series. Here in Game 3. Now McGillney, who started the scoring. Nifty move. Carries it into the Flyers zone. Sundin follows up. Matt Sundin carries it in deep. Wanted to roll the puck in front, but it was knocked away, and Zhamnov carries it back the other way. Zhamnov hands it off here. Throwing it with a drive. Pat saves. Big rebound. But it's all blue jerseys there. We're at the Air Canada Center here in Toronto. Dave Trader, Brian Engblom, and the rest of our ESPN2 crew. John Butcher Grouse and Ray Ferraro, Barry Melrose back in our studios. Glad you're with us. We are in the second round conference semifinals. Colorado and San Jose later tonight on ESPN. Doubleheader tomorrow. ESPN and ESPN2 with Tampa Bay, Montreal, and Detroit, Calgary. Marchment moves it over on the far side. Aki Berg snaps it ahead now for Ron Francis. Francis sends it across the Flyer zone. Esch comes out, just moves it away from Domi. Now Simone Gagne. Hands it off for Commander, now to Handzus. Michael Handzus' long pass. That was knocked away. Wilm turns it back now for Domi. And the Flyers regain control. Here is Recchi. Look out. He was lined up there and just drilled by McCabe. That's the second one of those Rob Blake-looking hip checks that he has delivered.
It's 2 for him and 2 for Brian Marchman. So a lot of contact there against the Philadelphia Flyers. All of them have happened between the blue lines in the neutral zone.
Big hit by Fedoruk on Reichel. A shot here in the glove of Belfour, and Fedoruk comes crashing toward the net, but he put on the brakes.
Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs got things going, and they scored 3 straight goals to give them a lot of breathing room. The first one was by Alexander McGillney. That was Matt Sundin sending him away with a terrific pass. One great move and in. Then Brian McCabe feeding it through to Ponikarovsky with the redirection made it 2-0. And in Ty Domi keeping the puck in barely, shooting it in the direction of Chad Kilger off to the side. He redirected it past Robert Esch, and that was 3-0.
Well, the Flyers have been behind for about the same amount of time that they trailed for the entire playoffs coming in. That entire series against the New Jersey Devils, they only trailed for about 22 minutes, and that all came in Game 3. That was the series, of course, that the Flyers won in 5. Here is Primo, hands it off. Brashear, a shot save. And rather, Belak, yes, that was Belak that was getting right in the face of Donald Brashear.
There have been some big hits there, and there are a lot of big bodies in this game, like Wade Belak, but watch this hit along the wall here. Mark Recchi got just tagged. He was actually the one that got tagged in the previous period, too.
Yes,
on the near side boards, when Brian Marchman came across and got an arm on him, that was full, solid contact by Brian McCabe. So it's been difficult for Mark Recchi and the Flyers picking their way through the neutral zone, sometimes preoccupied with one Leaf, and that second Leaf coming across and pounding.
Malakoff hands it in deep. Roenick wanted to put it out in front. All off of a clean face-off win by Zhamnov. It comes back to Roenick. Boy, he had the gun cocked and ready to let her go as Amante tried to set him up.
Philadelphia is trying to find plan B and a way to get the puck to the net. In Game 2, we talked a lot about how they just shot the puck from bad angles and had people go into the blue paint. That has not happened to the credit of Toronto, taking those plays away from them.
Oh, no penalty on that hit.
Somebody got wrecked. I can't even see who it is. Markov.
Markov looks over at Marawelli and just put his arm up like, you got to be kidding.
I think that was Alexander McGillney again, who's thrown a couple of big hits along the wall. Danny Markov.
Oh, look out. Now Roenick gets into it. Roenick had hit somebody with a stick. Another Maple Leaf came over and took a shot at Roenick, and he had had enough.
And now Danny Markov has a chance to get right back in there. He is one unhappy camper. Number 55 in white gets in there against Chad Kilger. But you knew this was coming. I mean, the temperature of this game has been going up. Philadelphia doesn't have things going their way. And they want to find a way to get back in. Jeremy Roenick is never shy to get involved in things. I kind of love this stuff when it happens. You don't like to see anybody get piled from behind. But that was Markov going down, and then JR says, come on, let's get it on here.
Introducing the only minivan with 2 rows of folding floor seats. The all-new 2005 Grand Caravan with exclusive stow-and-go seating and storage.
Honey, you coming?
The lowest priced minivan in America, starting under $19,000.
Very nice.
Like all light beers, it's low in carbs. Unlike any other light beer, it's got the great taste of Bud Light. What we have here is a failure to compromise. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
The new flamethrower burger at Dairy Queen with crispy jalapeno bacon and Tabasco flavored mayo. Do one carefully and dig you something different.
McGillney for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So 2 guys that you'd love to see out there in a 4-on-4 situation. have to sit this one out, but
probably a smart play there by Jeremy Roenick. I mean, they need to get something going, and JR is certainly not unaccustomed to sitting in the penalty box. He never shies away from difficult situations, and Mogilny has been a physical force. He got rocked in his very first shift of the game by Marcus Ragnarsson, and Mogilny's been in a bad mood ever since. He's hit people, and he's scored that first goal of the game.
Well, you look at that second period that the Flyers just had, and after game 2, Ken Hitchcock, the Philadelphia coach, said, you don't get away with bad periods on the road like we just did in this game in our building. So he knows this is going to be a very tough hill to climb. Playing on the road, and a lead pass here to center right, just misconnecting.
That second period really came back to slap Philadelphia.
Here is Simone Gagne. It's off the glove. Another chance for Gagne, but he was dumped to the ice. Another collision away from the puck. What do we got? Caberlet and Hamzus were tied up. And Marwelli's going to call something here. He may be sending them both off.
I think so. He wants to get a control back on it, put a lid back on this game, because it did get fiery and feisty, and he wants him to settle down.
Well, tonight on ESPN, the Stanley Cup playoffs will continue. 10 Eastern. It'll be the San Jose Sharks led by Patrick Marleau. What a playoff this kid's having. And they got a chance to sweep the Colorado Avalanche. That's tonight at 10 Eastern, the Stanley Cup playoffs on ESPN, presented by Nextel. Gary Thorne and Bill Clement. And the rest of their crew set to bring you the call.
Eddie Belfour been in the league now for 16 years, and for Belfour, goaltending is an obsession. We take a look here at Caberlet and Michael Handzus and how they got all tied up. So they end up taking a couple of penalty minutes each. Things rest on the shoulders now of Belfour with a 2-goal lead.
Here is Primo with it now. He wanted to go to the front of the net with it. Now sends it across the Toronto zone. Primo comes back to try to help out Cleve. Really doing a job back there. I think that's the defenseman pitching it. Yes, they got in there deep for the Flyers. Now the puck comes loose. And the Maple Leafs looking to clear it. Antropov was challenged by Vladimir Malakoff. Now Ponikarovsky could not get control. Hey, if the Flyers could ever get something here in this 4-on-4 situation, there's still a lot of time in this game.
Oh, absolutely. And they don't look rattled. They don't look like they're trying to just press all the time.
Here's a steal by Francis. Francis with a shot, and Esch just got a piece of it with the left pad. Another turnover by the Flyers. Shot to the front of the net. Tip save. Can't go, and it went right through Esch and out the far side as Chad Kilger almost had his second of the game.
Robert Esch is sharp. He's given Philadelphia a chance to get back because Philly's definitely sloppy on this 4-on-4.
Here comes Galante now with some speed. He has the Flyer goal. Sets it up for Kapanen. Makes a Savardian spinorama move. And Kapanen comes back to knock the puck loose. The penalties to Roenick and Mogilny are over. Here is Zhamnov sending it deep. Now it comes to Robert Reichel of the Maple Leafs. Reichel drives it deep. Here is Esch taking a look. Hands it off now. Malakoff quickly for Danny Markov. Markov lifts it out to center ice. Hockey Berg has it there. Now for Clark Wills. Hands it off for Darcy Tucker. Snaps a shot. Esch the save, and he hangs on.
Toronto trying to continue to go to the net, and Philadelphia is definitely not going to do it. This is the way it's going to be the rest of the way. The last 10 minutes with 47 seconds or longer if Philly can get back in. The 4-on-4 Zhamnov, good defense there by Toronto, and it gives a chance for Ron Francis to come in. He gets a really good shot. Excellent left leg save there by Robert Esch, and then again a turnover by good forechecking for Toronto. A heads-up play again by Brian McCabe, and Kilger was all alone in front of the net. Southwest Airlines goal cam shows you that Robert Esch did a good job of tracking the whole thing, and then he gets a little bit of luck. He makes the save off the inside of his right pad and goes right through the crease and out the other side. Good goaltending by Esch.
Antropov, face-off win. McCabe a shot deflected, and it goes just wide of Esch. Here is Markov up the boards with it. Leach trying to pinch in. And Ponikarovsky came back to help out. Danny Markov back to get it now for the Flyers. Markov center ice, drives it in over the head of Belfour. Ponikarovsky sends it in deep. Now Belak Failed to get it out of there. LeClaire hit by two Toronto players. It jumps over the stick of McCabe. Centering pass, but Leach was right there. And Brian Leach starts it back the other way. Konakarowski drives it in wide of the Flyers' goal. Here's Belak with it. He dumps it in front. Ooh, it went off the skate of Commander. And Brashear and Ancherpoff. There was a penalty going to be called here.
Donald Brashear has been in the middle of an awful lot of things. I think Aki Berg was one of the first guys in there, number 8 for Toronto.
This all happened away from the puck, so we'll have to wait and see what the call is going to be. When we come back, we'll tell you how Alex Zhamnov is a part of this day in history in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
The world's fastest tap dancer, under 12. The world's fastest motorcycle race, under 32 degrees. The world's fastest bird, underwater. And now, the world's fastest office color printer, under $1,000. The Xerox Phaser 8400. 24 prints a minute in vivid Xerox color and crisp black and white. All for under $1,000. The world's fastest snack, in under a second.
I wish we could still be together, but we can't. Don't worry. I'll find a good home for you. Don't you listen to them. You're not overstocked. You're definitely worth a lot more than that. No, not that. Hello. Take good care of them.
Lafayette's largest automotive 10 sale is going on right now at Bill Andrews Auto Mall. For 12 days only, over 400 new Mazdas and GMC trucks and over 500 pre-driven cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs will be on display and tagged with our biggest discounts of the year. Just $19 down drive. No payments until August. 0% financing. Payments from $99 a month. Used car appraisers and wholesalers bidding top dollar for your trade and 100% credit approval. It's Lafayette's largest 10 sale, and it's only at Bill Andrews Auto Mall in Lafayette.
Goaltending is not a job for Eddie Belfour. It's an obsession. He's a perfectionist, known to stay in the locker room in the past till 2 o'clock in the morning, sharpening his own skates to get the perfect edge, working on his equipment. In playoff time, he's like a submarine that goes to DEFCON 5. Silent running. You can't penetrate him. Eddie's in that playoff coma. And for the first time, he's got a 2-goal lead.
Donald Brashear got the penalty, so the Toronto Maple Leafs, for just the second time in this game, have a power play opportunity. And we've just passed the halfway mark of the third period. And that play well offside. Well, we told you that Alex Zhamnov's a part of this day in Stanley Cup playoff history. Let's take you back to this date in 1996. And Brian, you're familiar with the Winnipeg Arena. Played a little junior hockey there myself. Last game that was ever played by the Winnipeg Jets in the Winnipeg Arena against the Detroit Red Wings. That's Keith Primo putting it in the open net. Steve Yzerman, Bob Airey. The Jets played their final home game in Winnipeg history. The franchise would move the following season to Phoenix. Leach sends it across now on the far side. McGillney. McGillney sends it down now to Roberts. Roberts back out to the line. McCabe. Back to Gary Roberts. Sends it in deep. McGillney. Patience by the Leafs on this power play as they work it on the outside. Now it comes to Leach. He drives the shot that was blocked. Holds it in now for Sundin. Puts it to the front. It's the same on McGillney. Centering pass. And oh, look. What's the call going to be here? Roberts ended up making contact with Esch.
Oh, yeah, he got contacted, but good. Gary Roberts got cross-checked from behind, which is why Danny Markov went to the penalty bench. And then Robert Esch got his 2 cents worth in as he punched Roberts in the head. Number 7, Blue, is the one that everything will happen to eventually here. As there's the push, and so he goes head first into Esch. Esch says, "This is my territory, stay out." Gary Roberts says, "Hey, I'm just trying to make a living here, guys."
53 seconds, excuse me, Brian, of a 5-on-3.
Gary will take that. They're ahead by 2 goals. He'll stand in there and take that punishment as long as there's a reason for it.
Toronto can put this game on ice, taking advantage of this 5-on-3. Leach sends it up for McCabe. Now deep, a shot right off the goalpost. McGillney trying to sweep one in quickly. Now it comes to Leach. Another penalty coming. Leach with a drive save. Rebound is who is hurt down in the corner. McGillney is in a lot of pain down there. That was away from the puck, and I didn't see what happened.
Ragnarsson took a swipe at him as he went over into the corner. Really took a swipe at him. These two have been going at each other since the first shift when Ragnarsson KO'd Mogilny with an excellent body check. And that was an excellent two-handed karate chop to the back of the knee. Ooh, yeah, that's not playing by the book. Pat Quinn is not a happy camper. Alexander Mogilny missed more than half the season this year with a bad hip. He had hip surgery, is still really just rounding into form. He took a terrific shot there, Dave, on that bad angle that was right on target. That Esch had to make a save on. I mean, not too many guys ever even think about taking that shot. It would have gone in, except for a great save. Mogilny and Ragnarsson going at it this whole game. This won't stop here.
Well, now when the for sure penalty ends, he can't come out of the box. Here is Leach setting it up. Score! Darcy Tucker! 4-1 Leafs.
The tide has turned big time. Everything Toronto touches turns to gold. Brian Leach sets it up again. Leach directing traffic as he does so well. Tucker is open with his stick down in the middle, gets it and shoots it all in one motion, and also gets some help. I'm not sure if Ron Francis touched it or if it just goes off the skate of Malakoff in front, but it went right inside the post on the short side. I think it went off that right skate of Malakoff, and I think Tucker will get credit for the goal. That's what I mean. Perfect touch, everything going right for the Leafs.
And it remains a 5-on-3. Leach and McCabe getting the assist. Here's McCabe on the far side. Darcy Tucker's first goal of these playoffs, his first point of the playoffs. McCabe with a drive. Esch got the tip of the glove on that. Now it comes to Leach. Back on the far side to McCabe. McCabe winds up, drives a shot, save made by Esch, and the puck is cleared down the ice. This reminds me a little bit of the situation that Calgary ran into in Game 2 with their series against Detroit. Philadelphia is running around. Now you're giving Toronto a chance to work things out on their power play and get some confidence.
That's an excellent analogy, and that's true. Philadelphia should not let this Toronto power play work too much and work themselves out of the coma that they've been in and only give them more momentum for the rest of the series.
McCabe a one-timer. Esch was ready for it. He had himself in position. Still 35 seconds of a 5-on-3. Leach goes to McCabe. McCabe sends it across for Sundin. Sundin very calm with it. It comes to McCabe. One-timer is blocked. Leach will hold it in. Leach sends it deep. Pitkin gets a stick on it. Francis goes back to McCabe. McCabe to Leach. 15 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Sundin, goal-mouth pass. They try to go back to Sundin. He'll send it out to the line. Leach has it. Now to Sundin again. A shot hit off the side of the net. Ron Francis with it. Battling there, gets it out to McCabe, sends it in deep. Here is Roberts. Roberts with a shot, Esch the save. Puck up in the air, knocked down, and it comes to Markov, who's out of the box. But it's a hand pass because it was knocked away by one of Markov's teammates with a glove.
Toronto really starting to feel the flow now. They're getting real creative. When you have an extended 5-on-3 period like that, you really can get something going. We're going to go back and take a look at Darcy Tucker's goal. It goes off of Malakoff's foot. Number 2 on the left side of your screen in white. Tucker's in the middle. He gets the puck right here. Take a look at the right foot of Malakoff. Yes. Ronnie Francis' stick was very close there, but looked to us like it went off the foot of Malakoff.
Primo sends it along the boards. Now Malakoff could not clear. Klee hands it off. It's a 5-on-4 power play. Klee straight away. Save. Esch rebound sent to the corner. Markov chops at it and gets it out to center ice. Devon Gagne with it there. He sends it deep. Primo. Here comes Belfour out of the net. A little bit of contact there. Primo and Belfour.
And he's not even done anything for a couple of minutes here. I might as well come out and play a puck in the corner.
Monakorowski gets by Markov. Now sends it back out to Klee, back to the corner. Primo was there. And LeClaire will dump it out to center ice. Under 6 minutes to go. The Leafs with 2 power play goals. Now Malakoff hands it off on the far side. Commander. Marchment banks it off the inboard. Zaki Burr. Now to Clark Wilm. To Darcy Tucker. Now for Reichel into the zone. Reichel puts on the brakes, waits, dumps it toward Esch, and he hangs onto it. The Toronto Maple Leafs taking advantage of their home ice. They lead it by 3.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs, Saturday at 3 Eastern on ABC.
Smooth. But not rich. Rich. But not smooth. Michelob Amber Bach. Rich and smooth.
Do the impression of the foreman.
Dad, do it. Come on, man.
Good morning, ladies. Thanks for showing up. If you don't work, get out of my sight. Pick these things up. Get them out of here. You, put them down. What did I say? Up, down, for Pete's sake. You're driving me up a wall we ain't even built yet.
Introducing the powerful Ram Cummins 600.
It's right behind me.
It's amazing how 600 foot-pounds of class-dominating torque can really sneak up on you. Grab 0% APR financing or a $2,500 cash allowance, plus our 770 powertrain limited warranty on Ram Heavy Duty.
Get into Taco Bell for the cheesy Gordita Crunch. Warm flatbread covered in 3 melted cheeses, wrapped around a crunchy taco and topped with a zesty pepper jack sauce. So cheesy.
I like cheesy.
To get crunchy, chewy, cheesy, and melty, think outside the bun. Energizer E-Squared Lithium, the 1AA battery that lasts up to 7 times longer in digital cameras. Do you have the bunny inside?
Stanley Cup playoffs here on ESPN2. And Ty Domi having a little conversation with Marcus Ragnarsson.
More than a little. He just poked him with the stick here about 10 seconds before coming back from the commercial. He was talking to Ragnarsson the whole time and just sort of gently poked him in the arm with the stick.
Here's a quick shot by Kilger. Now Domi runs right into Ragnarsson. Domi wants to set up in front of the net and do some battle with number 28 of the Flyers, but the puck controlled now by Philadelphia. Here is Ragnarsson. Sends it ahead. Amonte puts on the brakes. Tries to hand it off to the trailer Zhamnov, but the Leafs were there to clear.
Marcus Ragnarsson is a gritty guy, but you don't want Ty Domi on your tail for the entire rest of the game, and who knows, maybe for the rest of the series, protecting his guy, Alexander Mogilny.
Now here is Kapanen. Nearly turned it over in front of Esch, but the puck is poked out of harm's way for the Philadelphia Flyers as Roenick sends it across now. And Ragnarsson will drive it right in on Belfour. He didn't fight on that fake. And Darcy Tucker dumps it back now into the Flyers' zone. 4.5 remaining here in the third period. Maple Leafs on the verge of getting right back in this series. They will trail 2-1 with Game 4 right back here on Friday night. Patrick Sharp to the front of the net. Belfour was ready for that. Shot by Markov. Woodork right in the crease of Belfour. He's going to try to stay right there, battling against Marchman. Centering attempt there for Radomojevic did not get through.
Toronto has been really tough in their crease area. They have played a really terrific game, taking away the things that worked for Philadelphia in Game 2, like throwing pucks into the net from bad angles. That's not happening.
Here is Sunday, backhand shot, and it did not get all the way through. As Esch pushing it, Wade Belak. We're going to have some stuff happen here in the last 3 minutes and 45 seconds of this one way or another.
That's the great thing about series. Things just, they continue from one game on. We talked about the fact that both teams felt it was almost like the start of the series now. They played Game 1, 2 days off. Game 2, 2 days off. Too much time in between. Now the series is just rekindled now.
The last time it took 7 days to play the first 3 games of a series was twice in 1999 as this shot deflected in just wide of Esch. And ironically, one of those series was Colorado and Dallas when Ken Hitchcock was the coach of the Dallas Stars.
And he's not enjoying this one because he thought it gave an advantage back to a very tired Toronto team. But it is what it is. That's the modern NHL. There are a lot of things, a lot of conflicts, and you don't just automatically play every other day like you used to, so therefore you don't automatically get rewarded for finishing your series early in 5 games like the Philadelphia Flyers did.
Now a battle in front of the benches, and Leclerc digs it out for the Flyers and sends it in. Belfour, who quickly sweeps it up the right side. Domi. Checked by Leclerc. Leclerc knocks the puck away and dumps it right back deep into the Maple Leaf zone. Now Aki Berg, the defenseman for Toronto. Plays it ahead. Kilger. Lead pass for Domi. Foot race against Pitkanen. And Yanni Pitkanen hands it off for Recchi.
That was a slick move. Yanni Pitkanen, a rookie in the NHL. That was a slick move to get back there.
That shot sails just wide. Now Kapanen with a shot. Here is Recchi. Did not get through.
You've said that a lot tonight. Did not get through. Did not get through. Toronto doing a great job in front of Belfour.
Clark Wilm with a shot that's deflected up on the netting and out of play. NHL.com for scores, stats, fantasy, and the official score of the NHL. NHL.com, the official site of the Stanley Cup.
Robert Esche has had his fill of blue jerseys in his face tonight. It's come in all different sizes. The worst and most painful size is number 3 in blue. Wade Belak, who comes in at 6'5" and about 230 pounds. Robert Esche defending his turf. Belak set the tone. I think he was placed in the lineup for the first time in the entire playoffs for Toronto. Set the tone early and really has helped do a really good job of getting in the face of Robert Esche and turning things around for Toronto.
All 3 games in this series last year that were played in this building went into multiple overtimes. That's not going to happen here. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to be right back in it. Brian, as you and I were saying during the last break, it almost feels like Toronto's made up more than one game. Of course, that's all they've made up. But in their minds, they're going to feel a whole lot better about themselves for a lot of reasons, besides just the fact that they get a win here.
Absolutely. I think they have made up more than one game here, the way they've gone, especially getting their power play field back, the way they've gained momentum, the way they've scored 4 goals, the way they've taken first in Philadelphia's end. They've taken back psychologically both games against Philadelphia, but still they're down 1 game to Ken Hitchcock's guys on the scoreboard.
Most of the crowd standing here, waving Toronto Maple Leaf flags and banners, pennants. Marchment sends it back toward the Philadelphia zone. Pitkanen plays it ahead. Now it is cleared by Berg back to the Flyers line.
One thing that Ken Hitchcock said yesterday, that, you know what, we still haven't played our best hockey. We still have 2 or 3 levels yet that we can show, even though they're up 2 games to nothing in the series. Well, Toronto obviously had at least another level to go here, too. Toronto showed it more than Philadelphia had, and they deserved this 4-0 lead so far.
Better pass for Gagne, and Belfour was right there. I'm not even sure if he had to make a save.
Eddie's been fully protected with the 3-1 lead coming into this 3rd period. Absolutely fully protected. Philly has not been able to penetrate Toronto in this 3rd period.
Pitkanen back to get it. I'm not sure what the whistle's about here.
There are 6 Philadelphia Flyers on the ice, and you're only allowed to have that if your goalie is pulled.
Yeah.
So there's going to be too many men on the ice for the Philadelphia Flyers. That's the kind of game it's been for them. They feel like they need an extra guy out there. And, I mean, there were 6 guys skating around out there. So you can see the Flyers are not real sharp here. Either their players weren't yelling or maybe they just couldn't make themselves heard. But there were 6 guys skating around. It wasn't like a close call at the end.
Too many men on the ice. Donald Brashear will serve it. Just delay the celebration of this crowd here at the Air Canada Center in Toronto. It guarantees that we'll have at least a Game 5 in this series. Another penalty coming. And this one's going to go against Toronto. They may not even have time to call it as the final seconds ticking off the clock. But it is touched with 1.8, and that means that the call will be made. Well, now they ran the clock down.
Alexander Mogilny went to the penalty box now. They called it. It's down to 0. It looks like the game is over. The clock's run down.
Yeah.
There apparently is home ice advantage back in the National Hockey League in the playoffs. Toronto Maple Leafs have certainly established it. Philadelphia, the ball is back in your court.
Maple Leafs win it 4-1. The Flyers now lead the series 2-1. Don't forget a doubleheader tomorrow, ESPN and ESPN2. First on ESPN at 7 Eastern. This game is exclusive, so those of you in Tampa Bay that want to see it will have to tune in to ESPN for Tampa Bay and Montreal Game 4 of that series, and then ESPN2 will have the Red Wings and the Flames at 10 Eastern. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. For Brian Engblom and the rest of our crew here in Toronto, I'm Dave Strader. Thanks for joining us. Big night for the Maple Leafs. They're back in the series, and it sets up a great one for Game 4 here on Friday night. Now let's send it back to the guys in the studio. NHL Tonight.
Oh, we'll have two NHL tonight. One right now up until 10 o'clock. ESPN will have, of course, the Sharks and Avs Game 4. Then over on ESPN, here on ESPN2 later at 12:30, another edition of NHL Tonight. Okay, boys, a Game 3 win for the Maple Leafs. Has the series changed?
Yeah, it's changed, but it's still Philadelphia's favorite. Don't forget, Nieuwendyke's hurt. Owen Nolan's still out. They don't have their whole team back, but Toronto played a gutsy game tonight. They played with a lot of heart and passion, as I said. I've loved this team all year long. They beat a team like Ottawa that had more talent than them, and they just grind them down without Sundin in the lineup. And again, that's why this team wins, where they just outwork you and they outpassion you.
Well, you have to like the way the Leafs played. I mean, they did just about everything well. They were disciplined. They didn't take penalties. They protected Eddie Belfour in front of the goal. No second chances for the Flyers, and they forechecked very well. Every goal seemed to come off a turnover, somebody deflecting the puck in front of the Philadelphia net. And for the first time in this series, the front of the net at both ends of the ice was owned by the Maple Leafs. That's where the game is won, and that's why the Leafs won tonight.
All right, let's talk about Game 3 and take a look at all the goals. You guys can chime in and comment on them. Again, it was a near must-win for Toronto, down 2-0, and boy, this guy finally gets on the board, Ray.
Yeah, he gets Robert Esch deep in the net. Esch plays this poorly, but McGillney gets out in front. He's not going to miss too many.
And then very unlikely guys dial in. Ponikarovsky there.
Well, we've talked about that, not having a stick tied up. Ty Domi's been great in this series. He's great against Ottawa. Kilger's second goal of the playoffs. When those two guys are combining for goals, good things are going to happen for the Leafs.
Power play Flyers has been good all year. And again, Amani, Zhamnov, and Rodek, no surprise there. They produced the goal. And then, Ray, it's Tucker.
5-on-3, Tucker shoots and hits Malakoff's foot and goes in. When things go well, they really go well. But you're right, the unlikely guys, Ponikarovsky, Kilger, and Tucker with his first, give the Leafs a big boost.
Game 4 here on ESPN2 on Friday. And this series has been very spread out, Barry. And I think Ken Hitchcock, of course, who was whining a bit about the schedule, I think he does have a point, though.
Sure, he's got a point.
For the Leafs to go 7 games against a very good, young, energetic Ottawa team, and then have 2 days off, and before both games, 2 and 3, that's a big advantage.
It's supposed to be an advantage to take care of business in the NHL, and that's why you do it. You want to get the series over as short as possible to rest your guys, and you hope the team you're playing against goes 7 games in a real physical series. Toronto goes 7 games in a real physical, emotional series, and then they get a rest before they play Philadelphia, and they get a rest before the next game. That is not the way the system's supposed to work. So, yes, Toronto got a huge advantage. They're down 2-1, but it could easily have been 3-0, because Toronto could easily had more injuries. They had to play back-to-back like they're supposed to.
And it looks like they got a chance to get Nieuwendyke back now for Game 4. Because he skated today, which Pat Quinn said, well, that's obviously an upgrade. He was on the training table before. Nieuwendyke comes back. All of a sudden, you got a pretty healthy Leafs team. And the way the series is spread out, well, there's other things going on in the buildings. It's a bad break for the Flyers. But as Brian Engblom said at the end of the game, it is what it is, and you have to deal with it.
We're going to talk to Ty Domi. We'll go back to Toronto in a second, hear from Ty Domi. He'll talk to Dave Strader and Brian Engblom. Okay, Toronto has played 5 games at home, 5 games on the road. 6 goals on the road, 13 at home. What's the difference?
They're a bunch of homers, John. We've known that all year long. Not really. I think Toronto can win in any building. That, as I said, character, heart, passion, all the things I just stress over and over again. But the Maple Leaf Gardens, if you've never been there, is an unbelievable place to play. The Toronto fans think the sun rises and sets on Toronto. They think it's the greatest hockey town in the world. They think it's the greatest city in the world, and they are backing the Leafs 100%. They think this team can win the Stanley Cup race.
Oh, well, they've thought that since 1967. They've had the parade route planned for 35 years.
They didn't think it the years I was there.
That's a pretty good point.
No
they looked
way,
out at what
man.
was there, and they said there's no chance
No
here.
chance.
No, but they're a good team at home. They skate, they shoot the puck, and they've got to the front of that. They seem to play with much more confidence and Barry's favorite, passion. They seem to do more of it at home.
Again, we'll go out to Toronto in a second and hear from Ty Domi as he talks to Brian and Dave. But first, let's move on to Game 2 of our 2-network doubleheader tonight. It's Game 4 between the Avalanche and the Sharks, coming up at 10 Eastern Time, exclusively on ESPN, Barry. And again, you talk about throughout the night. That's been your theme, really, is
my lifelong team.
It's about heart, especially
only
when
about
you're
heart.
down, when your back's to the wall. You have to show some heart.
If you're a coach and you can get your team to outwork the other team 98% of the time, you're going to win most of those games. I believe that. And Toronto is a good example of that. The teams that are playing well right now are outworking the other teams. It's not only about X's and O's and power plays. Yes, of course, those things matter. But the reason Colorado's down 3-0 is not because the X's and O's aren't working and the systems aren't working. They're getting outworked by the San Jose Sharks. They're getting outfought by the San Jose Sharks. The players on Colorado are getting chances, and the right guys are getting chances. Heyduk's getting chances. Great shot there. Forsberg makes a great pass. Forsberg, still the best player in the world as far as I'm concerned, but he's getting chances to score. And Joe Sakic, Conn Smythe winner, is getting chances to score. These guys aren't putting the puck in the net. And what we're seeing at Toronto, the guys that are scoring for Toronto, Domi, Kilger, Tucker, those guys, that's not happening with Colorado. We're not seeing the third and fourth line guys for Colorado putting any pucks in the net. If Sakic and Forsberg and Heyduk aren't doing it, nobody's doing it. They've only scored 3 goals in this series, Ray, with a lineup like that. That's unbelievable.
You would have never thought that would have been the problem, scoring goals with this lineup up front. And when you look at it, when you're down 3-0, winning 4 games in a row seems impossible. So you just try and win the first game, which is game 4 tonight. But you have to even break it down smaller than that. Try and win the first 5 minutes. Compartmentalize it period to period. And you have to get more pressure in front of Evgeny Nabokov. Every time Nabokov sees the puck, not only does he stop it, but there never seems to be any rebounds. And you look at Dan Heino here in front of the net. That's one of the few times the Avs have got somebody right in Nabokov's face. He's not able to grab the puck and freeze it. You've got to get people in front of him, and if you can't get people in front of him, you've got to get to the side of Nabokov. Try and make him move around the crease, because when he's square to the shooter, he's shown outside of Nikolai Habibulin, there hasn't been anyone better in the playoffs.
Yeah, Blake, Gratton, Solani, nothing, no goals yet.
No, just
you mentioned
3 goals. That team, 3 goals. It's a joke.
Okay.
They got to score more than that.
We'll hear from Ty Domi when we come back. Also, more on the San Jose Sharks. Don't forget, on ESPN tonight, Patrick Marleau and the Sharks go for the sweep in Denver. 7 goals, 3 assists, and 10 points for a budding superstar.
Now, when you stay at Ramada, you'll earn points towards the things you really want with the largest hotel rewards program ever, Trip Rewards. Think of it as a gazillion more reasons why Ramada is a very good place to be.
Drink intelligently. A reminder from Smirnoff Ice Triple Black Premium Malt Beverage, proud sponsor of 2003 Winston Cup champion Matt Kenseth and the number 17 car.
Introducing the totally redesigned Kia Spectra. The only car in its class with 6 airbags, a 10-year warranty, and at around $13,000, it's a car you can afford to love. The all-new Kia Spectra.
Now, when you stay at Ramada, you'll earn points towards the things you really want with the largest hotel rewards program ever, Trip Rewards. Think of it as a gazillion more reasons why Ramada is a very good place to be.
The NBA playoffs enter crunch time with a doubleheader of pivotal Game 5s on ESPN. First, with the series now locked in 2, the Hornets head back to Miami to take on the Heat. Then, KG has the Timberwolves poised to win their first playoff series ever as they try to close out Carmelo and the Nuggets. Hornets Heat and Nuggets Timberwolves, a playoff doubleheader, Friday at 7 on ESPN.
Welcome back. John Butchergrass, Barry Melrose, and Ray Ferraro. It's NHL tonight. One of 2 shows tonight. Also on ESPN2 later tonight, 12:30.
2 paychecks. It's unbelievable.
Not bad. Good living. Maple Leafs are winners in Game 3, 4-1. Entering this game, Ty Domi had more goals than Matt Sundin still does. Alexander McGillney no longer does. Both have 2. Barry's been saying more ice time for Ty. Well, here's some more TV time. He talks to Dave Strader and Brian Engblom after the Leaf win.
Well, the Maple Leafs win this game. They get to within 2-1 in the series. We're joined by Ty Domi, and Brian and I were saying up here, Ty, the way this game went, it's almost like you made up more than just one game in the series. Does it feel that way psychologically, the way you guys played tonight?
Well, we thought, we came a little short. Really,
out of both games, really, and we just tried to stay out of penalty box. And, you know, last game they got a couple power play goals, and, you know, they're pretty potent on the power play. You give those guys a little confidence with the puck, you know, and, on the power play, and they get things going. So we tried to, you know, stay out of the box as much as we can. And, you know, when you take those physical ones and finish in your hits, we don't mind those, but it's those hook and hold ones that kill you all the time, and they sting you and end up scoring. But, you know, when Ackenberg took it was a hard hit, and he said he couldn't hear the whistle. It was really loud out there, and it's nice to be back home. And it's nice to see guys feel comfortable back at home, and hopefully we get some momentum going here.
It was a heck of a play that you made at the blue line to keep the puck in. Did you see Kilger on the side of the net, or were you just busy trying to keep the puck in the zone?
No, I seen Chad down low. I just tried to get it close to the net as I can. That's what we're trying to do, is get the puck more at the net, and it hit their defenseman, and Chad made a nice hit. But Ronnie kind of batted down a little bit and kept it in, and I just tried to get it in, you know, towards the net.
Well, that first replay we showed was your goal from Game 2, but obviously Coach Quinn is trying to get you on the ice a little bit more, Ty. I mean, earlier in your career, you were involved in a lot of physical things, dropping the gloves and whatnot, but you're becoming a pretty good offensive force for this Toronto team.
Well, I've been pretty fortunate to get an opportunity to play, and there's a lot of guys in my situation for pretty much their whole career don't get an opportunity. And, you know, when Pat first came here 7 years ago, he challenged me to get in better shape and become a more complete player. And postseason all the time in the playoffs, he always relies on me and puts me in the top nine guys pretty much since he got here in the playoffs. So, you know, it's one of those things where you're just trying to contribute. And, you know, it's nice to see Wade Belak in there, and he did a tremendous job for us tonight. And, you know, he was asking a lot of things, and, you know, he's been a project since he's got here, and he's come a long way. And, you know, I remember being in his shoes, and, yeah, I consider him top 3 tough guys in the league. And, you know, playing tonight can give him the confidence as a player, too, and that's nice to see.
Well, you can certainly look at the way you've managed to progress in your career, Ty. Congratulations on the success tonight and getting back in the series, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Say hi to Barry for me.
Will do. All right. 4-1 the final score. Let's send it back to the studio.
Ty played 11 minutes. Is that enough? 11
no,
minutes?
get him about 14.
All right.
He got 1 assist on a key goal in 11 minutes. Just think what he could do with 14.
All right.
Be dynamite.
And Wade Belak for Tommy Fitzgerald. That was a good move by Pat Quinn.
They have to do that because Philly's so big.
Right.
Primo and Hamzus and all those guys. You have to add size to size.
Belak was really effective.
He really was.
Not just that he was physical, but he handled the puck behind the net. He did a great job.
Fitzgerald struggled on some scoring opportunities.
Another example, McCarty's got to play more for Detroit. He's playing about 4 or 5 minutes a night. He's got to play about 11, 12
Especially
minutes.
against Calgary. I think that'd be a perfect fit. All right, boys, let's face off. I want to give Barry and Ray 7 different issues around the NHL concerning these playoffs, and you guys will debate back and forth. We're going to put 5 minutes on the clock, so we have 5 minutes to get through these 7. I need you to be smart, concise, and salient.
Witty.
All right, let's begin. 16 overtime periods so far we've had in these playoffs. 16, only 2 penalties called. Is that right or wrong? Good officiating, bad officiating?
Good officiating. I don't want to see overtime decided on somebody holding a stick or a hand on a puck. It's got to result. The penalty's got to result in a goal being disallowed or taken away. That's the only reason it should be a penalty.
Well, then I don't want to hear from the league that we're going to call penalties differently. They call it for 3 periods one way, and all of a sudden you don't call it in the overtime. If you're going to call it in the regular game, you got to call it in the overtime.
You're living in the dream world, brother.
No, I'm living in in the new NHL world. Which, whatever that is.
Barry. All right, 58 playoff games. We've got 58 playoff games, now 59. 34 goaltender interference calls.
That's bad.
Well, obviously, there was a memo.
That's bad refereeing. The
a memo from the league, wouldn't it be?
I never got it. The goaltenders are so well protected, you can't hurt those guys. If they want to go wander and play the puck behind the net and in the corner, they should be free game. We're protecting those guys way too much.
I agree, we're protecting them too much, but it's good refereeing because that's what they're told to do. They have their laptop that they carry around. Every time they make a mistake, they get an email from the league saying you screwed up, so they don't want to screw up. They're calling it every time somebody goes like this, they get a penalty.
It also says them video of the plays as well.
That's what I'm talking about, right on their laptop.
The old referees didn't have room for a laptop in their bag.
What was in there? Pick a goaltender, Habby Bullen or Nabokov.
Eddie Belfour, that's the guy.
Dude, you can't on a game show go off the board. This isn't Joker's Wild.
Habby Bullen. He's on fire right now. He's the hottest goaltender in the NHL. His numbers back that up, but I'll still take Eddie Belfour in 1 game series.
Yeah, I'll take Patrick Waugh. Oh, he's retired. I'll take Evgeny Nabokov because I think if there's a goaltender that can lose his form more and quicker, it's Khabibulin. I think Nabokov's very steady.
Ray, he could lose his form and still keep his goals against under 1.
Martin St. Louis, likely MVP during the regular season, having a good postseason. Does it actually help him to be small? Is that an advantage in any way out there outside of his speed? No, don't count his speed.
No advantage to be small on anything, John. You should know that.
I do. I'm just...
He's brave, he's tough, he's courageous. He plays with courage. He goes in traffic areas. With his speed, he's able to play with a small size. He's very, very strong.
First time tonight, you got something right. You're right. Being small, trust me, is no advantage. You got to run into guys that are 6'5", that can skate now. But St. Louis does it because he's got heart. A lot of big guys don't have heart. A lot of small guys don't have heart. St. Louis separates himself because he's got courage.
4 down, 4 to go. You guys are right on time, doing wonderfully. Friction between a coach and a star player. Who wins?
Depends what your general manager is. If you got a good general manager, he stands behind his coach, like they did in Tampa Bay with John Tortorelli and LeCavalier. They've made LeCavalier a 100% better player. If the general manager's weak, he stands behind the star player and the coach is gone.
Yeah, I've seen it in both ways. You're right. Tortorella and LeCavalier. LeCavalier was complaining about his ice time. Tortorella said, too bad. This is the way it has to be. LeCavalier eventually came around. And I played with Mark Messier in a couple of different places, and Mark Messier made a lot of the decisions, and he's the player, not the coach.
All right, Stanley Cup. Of course, the West has dominated. East or West? Which conference do you think will carry that cup when it's all said and done?
You know, I think it's going to be the East. I like the Eastern teams, all 4 of them, the way they play, the depth of their team, the goaltending of the team, the styles of the team, how hard they play. I think it's going to be an East this year.
Barry, we talked about last night how there's a slight changing of the guard. Some of the other teams are starting to be better than some of the established teams, and I think it's a change this year as well. I like the Eastern Conference. They're deeper, they're bigger, and I think when they get into that final series, it's going to make a difference.
2004 or done for what team? Which teams must win this year, or, you know, pretty much their run is over? Their window of opportunity is over.
I think Detroit and I think Colorado. I think both those teams are going to be drastically different next year because of what happens with the collective bargaining and with the ownership not willing to pay huge amounts of salaries if you're not going to win the Stanley Cup.
And I'll throw Toronto into that mix as well, and the reason I'll do that is because of their age. All 3 teams are older teams. At some point, you have to retool. Detroit's got a number of contracts that are up. Forsberg's situation is up in the air in Colorado. Toronto has several older players. McGillney may retire after this year. All 3 teams will be radically different.
We'll see what the new CBA is. Maybe some of these teams can reload easier. We'll have to see. Okay, 1 more to go, boys. Plenty of time. Be smart. Coach left on the hot seat. Right now, as you look around the teams left, we have 8 teams left in these Stanley Cup playoffs. What coach you think, if he doesn't move at least to the next series, could be gone?
I think there's 2 coaches in this situation. I think one is my buddy Tony Granato, and I think the other is my buddy Dave Lewis. I think both these guys, with the salaries and the talent of their teams, I think both of them have to get to Stanley Cup finals to keep their jobs.
After last year's disappointments in the playoffs as well, those guys maybe moved to the front of the pack as being under the microscope. Also, Pat Quinn's in the last year of his deal. He wasn't selected by John Ferguson to be the John Ferguson's the general manager. He did not select Pat Quinn. He had an existing contract. It'll be interesting to see if the Leafs don't go deep, if John Ferguson will bring Pat Quinn back.
Daryl Sutter's done a great job, but he's intimated he'd like to go up to the GM position full time.
And if he goes to the GM position, Jim Playfair, who is Daryl Sutter's guy, he brought him in to be the assistant coach. He will be the head coach in Calgary.
Every coach wants to be a GM for a while because GMs last so much longer. You can do bad and still keep your job for 5 or 6 years.
Time's up, boys. Great job.
Great job. Great questions, Johnny. You've never
Thank
been
you very much. I worked all day on those. That was my idea at the meeting today.
Another good idea.
You weren't there, but it was there.
More to come.
Who this year you had?
Joe Sakic is the captain of the Avalanche. He's the leader. And when times are tough, Joe usually comes through on the ice, is what I'm trying to say. More hockey talk after this.
No thanks.
Dockers Pro Style. Shirts and pants that do it all.
If only the world were as race-inspired. The 6-speed, 200 horsepower Acura RSX Type S.
Oh man, there's a line.
Dockers Pro Style. Shirts and pants that do it all.
6, 7, 8,
9.
There's an online game with weekly prizes from Sears Ultimate Lawn Gear and a grand prize trip to ESPN Studios to watch baseball tonight.
990.
Just log on to ESPN.com/contests to play the Great Ground Screw Caper. It's perfect for those who love baseball and gardening. Especially baseball. Catch baseball tonight all season long on ESPN.
With Shop Lafayette, you can take new customers into your store every day. You'll have 2 full minutes to demonstrate your product and show everyone what makes your business unique and special.
Just call me, Dana Sizemore, and you'll be on your way to showcasing your business on Shop Lafayette.
Get your business on the air on Shop Lafayette at least 5 times a day, 7 days a week, only on Inside Cable Channel 16.
Where can you find great stores and great merchandise? Where can you find great places to eat and meet your friends? It's all downtown, of course. Inside and the Downtown Business Center bring you It's All Downtown on Inside Channel 16. Shops, restaurants, hotels. It's all downtown. Watch It's All Downtown. The show can be seen every day at midnight, 9 a.m., 2 p.m., and most days at 7 p.m.
Over on ESPN, and 8 minutes from now, it is Game 4 between Colorado and San Jose. The Avs must win or they go home. Gary Thorne and Bill Clement will have the call.
John, thanks very much. For the Avalanche, an unusual situation, obviously, and a must-win. They're not used to being there with the talent they've had on this team. And Bill David Abisher, this entire season, even before it started, had to contend with the Patrick Waugh thing. And he's going to have to contend with it again here as we go into a must-win situation.
The spotlight is obviously shining as brightly on David Abisher as it ever has in his career. Everybody is very quick to forget that he outdueled Marty Turco in the Dallas series. He's already won a playoff round. The fact remains, he must be superhuman to give Colorado a chance in this series. And besides that, he could use a little bit of offensive support up front. The margin for error for David Abisher has been nil, especially in Game 3 when his team, even at home, couldn't even score 1 goal. He had 1 goal bank in off his back. That was it. I mean, for David Abisher, yes, the spotlight's shining on him because of the position that he plays. A little bit of offensive help would go a long way.
The numbers have not been good for him in this series. He's had a .360 goals against and a save percentage of .842 in this series. That's not good. The other side of it, for San Jose, the longest playoff win streak they have ever had, 5 games, and Nabokov has won them all with big numbers.
He's been really good. Without question, he has been the better of the 2 goalies, Abisher and Nabokov. He is in the zone, and that is why, if you look back a lot of the saves that he made, he was able to see them. Now, the Avalanche are finally admitting that if Evgeny Nabokov can see the puck, he will save it. On that particular sequence, there was at least somebody in front looking for a screen. The Avs, no. They can't get by with their talent anymore. Obviously, there's no margin for error for them. They're down 3-0 in the series. They have to take sight lines away. And look at the goals that are being scored in the league from behind the goal line, banking it in off goalie skates. That's how Colorado is going to have to play. They have to do this mental shift. Forget that they're talented, score real ugly goals.
We talk about your star players having to rise to the occasion. Well, Vinny Damphousse has played more playoff games than any other Shark. He is also their highest paid player. Well, he has gotten it done.
Getting it done. And this is a guy that in the regular season was demoted to a 4th line position. Now he's the left side guy, and he's done it from behind the net more than once. This was in March against Calgary with Mika Kiprasov in goal. Damphousse scored from behind the goal line. He said that it crossed his mind on this play in Game 3 when he was behind David Abisher. He remembered back to that March goal that he scored against Calgary and said, hey, it worked once. I think I'm going to try something magical again. And he hit pay dirt in Game 3. So it's a little plays like that. That's what I was talking about. Never assume you're out of the play. Just get it to the net somehow.
Well, for the Colorado Avalanche, it is tonight or it is home. They've got to win this game to keep this series alive. In Game 3, they came out, stormed for 10 minutes, but the Sharks stood up to it. And in the end, that goal off the back won it, John.
Thank you, boys. Now, Ray, we see how Toronto responds when you have to win. They can go physical. Yeah. Colorado's not really built that way. So what do they do?
No, their physical guys have to try and be physical, I guess. And that's, Barnaby's really had a very good series. But they've gotten not much out of Gratton, who came over in a trade right at the deadline. And if Rob Blake can't play, they're going to play Kurt Sauer on defense. Sauer's a big physical guy. They have to try and be as physical as they can, but they're a puck possession team. They have to play with the puck, play with confidence, move the puck to the front of the net and get people there. You don't have to be the biggest guy to get there. You just have to want to get there. And, Barry, you've talked about that. You have to want to get there.
You have to want to get there. You know what? I watch Colorado play, and then you watch Toronto play tonight, and you watch Calgary play, and you watch these other teams play. There's just no energy in the Colorado game. They've never become, except for 2 games against Dallas, they've never become the team that we envisioned when they got all these star players together this summer. Added Korea, added Solani, made the deals. They looked like it at the deadline for a little bit, but Grattan hasn't been the Grattan that we remember, the big physical center who win physical battles. Barnaby at times has been the agitator. Heino's been the agitator. But you watch Calgary play, it's just everybody hit, win physical battles. Toronto tonight, hit, win physical battles. We haven't seen Colorado do that in this series, and basically for most of the year.
I wonder if they're built that way, and that would be the GM's fault.
I don't think they are built that way.
All right, well, Peter Forsberg has to stay out of the penalty box. 5 minor penalties in this series thus far. His career high for a series is 6. He'll be the guy to look to create offense. Game 4 on ESPN is coming up. Sharks and Avalanche will wrap our night off next. And Cole, we have baseball coming up here on ESPN2. Barry Bonds off to a pretty good start. He has his A game. It is the Braves and Giants next here on ESPN2. Hockey's over on ESPN.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs, Saturday at 3 Eastern on ABC.
Introducing the totally redesigned Kia Spectra. The only car in its class with 6 airbags, a 10-year warranty, and at around $13,000, it's a car you can afford to love. The all-new Kia Spectra.
See that? That's the best chicken sandwich there is.
They have these inside?
Here? No, you have to go to Wendy's across the street. That's Wendy's new home-style chicken sandwich.
Are you with Wendy's?
Well, unofficially. It has a special new blend of seasonings and a creamy, tangy sauce.
Wow, this is good.
I can't believe this place would let Wendy's do this here.
Hey, I'm calling the cops. Well, my work here is done.
Wendy's new home-style chicken, one of our 3 new Chicken Temptation sandwiches.
You coming back?
And our pickup window's open till midnight or later.
There's just no limit to the great things And brings together. And now that includes an unlimited array of unlimited calling plans from AT&T. And can take you wherever you want to go, right from your home phone. Come together with And from AT&T.
When you care more about beer, Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
All right, boys, playoff hockey production is underway. Set all machines to maximum. It's all about determination and toughness now. Only one team's going to hoist the cup. The NHL playoffs delivered nightly on ESPN and ESPN2.
Here's your lineup tomorrow. ESPN has Game 4. The Lightning go for the sweep. ESPN2 has the Red Wings and Flames. The Wings are down 2-1. That's your hockey action tomorrow. And here is the lineup, the great 8 that remain. Let's start with you, Barry, and focus on the Lightning.
Red Wings got the Lightning. Yeah.
Sorry, talk about the Red Wings.
Okay. The Red Wings got to play their tough guys more, John, because they're getting pushed around by Calgary. Get McCarty on the ice more. Get Big Fisher back there. Get those guys out there at Holmstrom. Play those guys more so they can go nose-to-nose with Calgary.
How about the Lightning? They go for the sweep, Ray?
Well, they have to play a lot better than they did in Game 3. They know they got lucky and that they stole one late against Montreal. They win it on a lucky goal in overtime. They have to play much better, in particular in the first period.
So here's the deal. We have baseball next year on ESPN2, Braves and Giants. Then after that game, it's NHL tonight. But first, Game 4 for hockey fans. It is the Avalanche and the Sharks over on ESPN. So we'll see you later on ESPN2. Hockey fans, head over ESPN for the Avalanche and the Sharks. For Chicken Parm and Ray, I'm John. Enjoy the night.